Lu Yang walked along the streets of Yunjie County, the hometown he had left many years ago to seek the Tao. It was only with the remaining morsel of their inheritance, and the assistance from the neighborhood that he managed to scrape by. During the decade he spent in his small town, he had heard the storyteller narrate tales of immortals with swords ascending to the heavens, disastrous floods caused by river demons turning around from 500 li away, as well as accounts of Immortal Sect disciples exterminating demons and devils, upholding justice with their flying swords. It thus dawned upon Lu Yang that this was no longer the world he was familiar with nor any of the historic dynasties he had recollection of. This was a world where people could cultivate and individuals could amass immense power. Since he wanted to seek the Tao and master the immortal arts of longevity, the Wendao Sect was his first choice. There was one reason for selecting it. The Wendao Sect was the only sect in the vicinity. Amid the pouring rain, a solitary figure was trudging alone along the narrow path leading to Wendao Sect. A young maiden with long, flowing silver hair and an ethereal aura like a celestial fairy descending to the mortal world. "Hello, big sister," a voice rang out from the nearby horse carriage. The old horse continued on for a few more steps before gradually coming to a halt. The man continued speaking in a gentle voice. "Walking in this direction, you must also be heading to the Wendao Sect to participate in the trials. Since it's raining, why not get in the carriage and rest your feet?" The woman seemed slightly surprised, but she agreed after giving it a brief thought, the moment she got on the carriage. She spoke politely. "Yunji thanks you both." Sitting opposite her were two young men. The young man with blue hair, holding a fan in his hand, introduced himself. "I am Meng Jingzhou. There's no need to be so polite, big sister. After all, we are on the same path, and we might even be in the same sect in the future." The remaining one was our male protagonist. He cupped his hands together and greeted politely. "I am Lu Yan. Big sister doesn't need to thank me either. I was also invited onto the carriage by Brother Meng while I was traveling." The moment she got on the carriage, Meng Jingzhou and Lu Yang were left dumbfounded. Despite priding himself on his extensive life experience, even Meng Jingzhou found the woman before him to be the most beautiful he had ever laid eyes upon. Not to mention Lu Yang, the most attractive woman the latter had ever seen was the tofu-selling young widow next door. Naturally, Lu Yang was a proper gentleman and bore no indecorous thoughts toward her. Meng Jingzhou eagerly pressed on. "Ha ha ha, it's all fate. Brother Lu and I have had a great chat, and we were just talking about the Wendao Sect's entrance test." Young Master Meng spoke incessantly and enthusiastically about the strict admission regulations. The Wendao Sect, one of the 5 great immortal sects, is notoriously strict when it comes to recruiting disciples. First, one must be under 16 years of age. Second, one's spiritual root must not be too poor. Finally, one must pass 2 stages of trials. He explained. The first stage tests decision-making. A flying sword goes out of control. Do you ignore it and let it stab 5 people to death? Or do you divert it to stab 1 person next to it? The second stage tests integrity. There is a mirror in the Tao-seeking sect that can ascertain whether your words are true or false. If it detects that you are lying, you will be disqualified immediately. Who is the most handsome person in the world? Ha ha, me. Truth, you passed. You face a mirror that can distinguish truth from lies, answer its questions, and you cannot lie. Only by passing these 2 stages will you qualify to become a disciple of the Wendao Sect. If you too have any questions, you can ask me. Upon hearing that, Lu Yang joyfully stood up and raised his hand, eagerly seizing the chance to ask first. But Meng Jingzhou smiled with his eyes curved into crescents as he looked toward the girl and said, "Ahem, ladies first, big sister Yunji, you go first." Yunji asked softly, "The contents of these trials are kept secret. May I ask how young Master Meng came to know of them?" Meng Jingzhou proudly opened his fan, preparing to reveal a heaven-shaking, earth-shattering secret. "I bought them for a hefty sum from an elder of the Wendao Sect. Today I traveled alone to participate in the Wendao Sect's trials. It is fate that I met you 2 fellow Taoists on the way, so I shared this matter with you, but please do not spread it around." Lu Yang was utterly shocked upon hearing that. Isn't this cheating? We're not far from the Wendao Sect now. If a mighty expert of the Wendao Sect were passing by and accidentally overheard. The transmigrator guy frantically flung open the window and shouted loudly, "I didn't ask voluntarily. I'm a victim too, if there were a passing Wendao Sect. At that exact moment, outside the horse carriage, on a large tree, a mysterious figure in a black cloak was faintly visible, lurking in the pouring rain. Meng Jingzhou hurriedly covered Lu Yang's mouth and reassured him, "Don't worry, Brother Lu, listen to me. My carriage is no ordinary one, it's a 3-no carriage." Lu Yang was puzzled. 3-no? Young Master Meng confidently affirmed, "Of course. No obstruction, equipped with a one-way observation window, the owner can observe the outside from the inside. No bumps, equipped with super shock absorbers and jade horses, no bumps on any terrain. No detection, equipped with a switchable privacy mode, the carriage interior cannot be probed by divine sense. Safe, comfortable, long endurance." Lu Yang finally breathed a sigh of relief. "I see." Young Master Meng then teased, "I didn't expect Brother Lu to be so upright, it's my..." But upon hearing the word safe, Lu Yang instantly did a complete turnaround. "Since no one can hear us, Brother Meng, give me more details. Are there any walk-throughs to pass?" "The guaranteed to pass kind." The other two were left speechless. The carriage continued forward and entered the sect gate through the rain. Lu Yang peeked his head out of the window. "Oh, the rain has stopped." Meng Jingzhou explained, "No, it's the Wendao Sect protecting Grand Array that blocked the rain." Lifting his head, Meng Jingzhou saw a multitude of mystical beasts and immortal magic devices heading straight for the towering mountain that seemed to pierce the sky. Looking at the scene before him, he couldn't help but exclaim in shock, "Oh my God, this mountain gateway is way more imposing than our Meng families." In Lu Yang's heart, he was extremely moved. "It's been over 10 years since I transmigrated to this world, and I've finally seen real cultivators." But worries about his spiritual root suddenly surged. Lu Yang feared he might not meet the requirements to join the sect. Meng Jingzhou looked at the disciples flying above, then patted his new friend's shoulder encouragingly. "Brother Lu, look at those cultivators. They are all core disciples of the Wendao Sect, under the tutelage of various major elders. Who knows, they might be our senior brothers and sisters in the future." The great powers of the sect appeared with dignified and solemn bearing to begin the ceremony. Meng Jingzhou rubbed his hands nervously. "They look like they're all ready. Once the host of the trials arrives, the first stage of testing spiritual roots will begin. This aura, it's making me a bit nervous. What about you, Brother Lu?" Lu Yang replied, "I'm nervous too." He turned around, wanting to check if Yunji was excited or anxious. "Miss Yunji, you?" Before Lu Yang could finish his sentence, Yunji had already ambled away. A white lotus flower appeared beneath her feet in sync with every step through the air, accentuating her delicate frame. An uproar erupted among the crowd, prompting the senior clan members to shush their juniors as beads of cold sweat broke out on their foreheads. Lu Yang and Meng Jingzhou were stunned out of their wits, unable to believe their eyes. "Brother Meng, what's going on here?" "I don't know." The suspended trail of white lotus flowers ended right in the middle of Dao-seeking sect's core disciples, who bowed deferentially at Yunji. Turning toward the crowd, Yunji's lips curved into a smile. "Thank you all for waiting. I am the eldest senior sister of the Wendao Sect, and the host of this trial. I declare, the trials officially begin." Yunji didn't forget to sneak a knowing smile at the gaping Lu Yang and Meng Jingzhou. "I am indeed here to participate in the Wendao Sect selection trials, but I never said I was a candidate. I'm an examiner." Lu Yang and Meng Jingzhou had only one thought remaining in their heads. "It's over. I can't believe that we actually discussed how to cheat in front of the examiner." Lu Yang nervously bit his finger and asked, "Brother Meng, Miss Yunji won't kick the two of us out, right?" Meng Jingzhou suddenly flew into a rage and shouted, "Not afraid. If we get kicked out in public, we can use that humiliation as motivation to work hard, constantly encounter fortuitous opportunities, soar into the sky, and become an existence that even the 5 great immortal sects look up to. Is that how it's written in storybooks? The protagonist gets humiliated and falsely accused, loses face, and then the other side's whole family has to die. But it seems Miss Yunji doesn't even need to falsely accuse us." Makes sense, but I still want to try. What about you, Brother Lu?" Lu Yang made up his mind, his gaze becoming sharper. After all, this was the only chance in his life to truly step onto the path of cultivation. He looked at the immortals hovering in midair, pondered for a moment, then spoke. Since Miss Yunji hasn't said anything up to now, I'm going to try too. After all, this might be the only opportunity in my entire life. Then what are we waiting for? Let's line up, let's go. The spirit root is the first hurdle on the journey to immortality. If your spirit root is inadequate, you won't be able to go far in your cultivation, no matter how many resources are poured in. For the first round, everyone will line up to have their spirit root tested. Most who came to attend the Dao-seeking sect's examinations were already aware of their own spirit roots. Rarely were there people like Lu Yang who had come to try their luck just because it was close to home. A Wendao Sect disciple, Dai Bufan, was sitting right at the front. Living up to his extraordinary name, he practiced a unique cultivation technique. By sending his spirit energy into someone else's body, he could immediately determine their spirit root, cultivation techniques, and even where their weak points were. In combat, he was like a fish in water. Like a seasoned physician, all it took for Dai Bufan was to place 2 fingers on the other person's wrist to ascertain their spirit root. Metal, water, and fire tri-spiritual root? It's passable, you passed. 18 years old? You're over the age limit, go back. Water and wood dual spiritual root, you suffered heavy trauma at the age of 12, damaging your foundation, but you met an expert who cured you, passed. The candidate was astounded. You can figure all that out, just by feeling my pulse. After the candidate walked away, a disciple thronged to congratulate Dai Bufan. Senior brother Dai can see the cause and effect just by taking a pulse. It seems your cultivation has advanced, congratulations. Dai Bufan lightly remarked, oh, that expert was me. Before the disciple could say anything else, Dai Bufan was already waving his hand at the next candidate. The next was a small novice monk, and Dai Bufan recognized him at a glance. What is a young novice monk from the Xiankong Temple doing here? You still have the brand left by the abbot of Xiankong Temple in your body. Go back to your Xiankong Temple. Hearing this, Lu Yang asked, Xiankong Temple? I remember it's one of the 5 great immortal sects. Meng Jingzhou cheerfully explained. That's right, the Xiankong Temple has very few people. Even at its peak, it hasn't exceeded 10 people. Dai Bufan continued examining the next candidate, and exclaimed in surprise, huh? Honest poor man bloodline, this ancient barbarian bloodline, I haven't seen it in a long time. The burly young man grinned brightly upon hearing he had passed. Lu Yang and Meng Jingzhou were astonished, wondering if this tall fellow was really only 16 years old. Ancient barbarian bloodline was indeed a rare find. Dai Bufan began to grow bored, yawning as he called out, next, next. But the moment he touched the next candidate, his eyes widened in shock, his expression doing a complete 180. He shouted in extreme excitement, single, single. The booming voice drew everyone's attention. Single spiritual root. Meng Jingzhou was baffled, not understanding what was happening. Rage exploded within Meng Jingzhou. He slammed the table, veins bulging. Hey, how can there be a single spiritual root? I might be inexperienced, but don't try to trick me. An ethereal, fairy-like voice intervened. Junior brother Dai wasn't tricking you. You really do have a single spiritual root. That is its academic name. Yunji explained to Meng Jingzhou. It's just that in the cultivation world, everyone is more used to calling it by its common name, pure yang spiritual root. Dai Bufan added, pure yang spiritual root, a mutated single-element spiritual root. It is supremely resolute and supremely yang, the nemesis of ghosts and spirits. Maintain your pure yang body, and your cultivation will advance 1,000 miles a day. Break your pure yang body, and your cultivation will plummet 1,000 miles a day. You passed, go to the next testing area. Meng Jingzhou burst into tears. No wonder they didn't allow me near women. No wonder they started preparing for a second child after testing my spiritual root, so that's how it is. Per young master. Lu Yang quietly retorted from the back, Brother Meng's spiritual root, why does its common name sound more academic than its academic name? Because the first senior with a pure yang spiritual root called his own spiritual root the single spiritual root. With Yunji's unfathomable cultivation level, Lu Yang's soft murmur was no different from speaking right into her ear. Yunji paused, then continued. The cultivation world has a custom of respecting predecessors who are single. It was as if she thought that adding this one sentence would make it more convincing. It was now Liu Yang's turn. Dai Bufan's pupils constricted. Humph? Sword, innate sword. Liu Yang shouted, speak the common name. Dai Bufan quickly corrected, oh, sword spiritual root, unstoppable, the most fierce in offense. Liu Yang was fuming, sword, sword, sword my ass. Despite his annoyance at the name, he still received the notice. You passed, follow the guiding senior brother to the next testing area. Behind Dai Bufan was a bamboo forest, the venue for the second round. Meng Jingzhou eagerly asked Liu Yang. How did it go? What is your spirit root? It's alright. Even if your spiritual root is average, you're still my friend, Meng Jingzhou. Sword spirit root. What is this feeling of being both happy and disappointed? You can't stand seeing your brother suffer, but you also don't want to see him driving a Land Rover. I understand what you mean, but what is a Land Rover? Anyway, it's a good thing. A few hours went by again. Dai Bufan continued to eliminate the people whose spirit root did not meet the requirements, while those who passed moved on to the second round. Overhearing some of the discussions from the people behind, it appeared that there were a few more candidates with special constitutions. Before they could ask around, however, Yunji once again stood before everyone and casually commented. The second round will begin now. A mysterious space unfolded, obscuring everyone's vision. The candidates began stepping into the hazy mist to undergo the test. Meng Jingzhou exclaimed nervously, this is? Brother Liu, this fog isn't quite right. Everyone began to feel uneasy at the sudden change in their surroundings. Liu Yang tried to reassure his friend, Brother Liu, don't panic, naturally, we can't consult each other during the second test's flying sword examination. This fog probably just wants to separate us. The two steeled their resolve, so be it. Brother Liu, see you at the finish line. Brother Liu, that's right, see you at the finish line. Meanwhile, in the observation area, Dai Bufan commented, I hope more can pass. There are a few good seedlings in this batch. It would be a pity if they failed at the second test. Hearing this, Yunji asked, Junior brother Dai, who do you think can pass the second test? Dai Bufan stroked his chin and analyzed, naturally, it's that ancient barbarian. They are famous for being simple-minded. Those with the single spiritual root and sword spiritual root are not bad either. They look like honest people at first glance. Honest people? Yunji immediately recalled the scene of Liu Yang and Meng Jingzhou plotting their cheating scheme. She then asked, by the way, Junior brother Dai, is there any elder who is short of money lately? Dai Bufan was puzzled. I haven't heard of any. Eldest senior sister, why do you ask? Yunji replied calmly, oh, I heard that an elder sold the information about our test stages from 20 years ago. This statement caused Dai Bufan and the disciples behind him to turn pale, cold sweat pouring down their faces. Dai Bufan explained the new round to Yunji. Eldest senior sister, there is no need to worry. Our examination venue is the bamboo forest illusion. It can make people forget their identities and the test, forget everything, and react most genuinely according to their true nature, Dai Bufan further emphasized. Moreover, the current test questions are completely different from 20 years ago. They were designed by Senior River Spirit of the Bamboo Forest, testing honesty and greed. The burly man from the ancient barbarian tribe was called Mangu. His name meant barbaric nature, which bore the same term as his bloodlines. He scanned his surroundings in bafflement. Having completely forgotten what had transpired a while ago, he was standing beside a picturesquely shimmering river, and in his hand was a worn-out axe. Suddenly, the old axe slipped from his hand and fell into the small river. Mangu was just about to retrieve it when he noticed the river's surface bubbling. The size of the bubbles expanded until a fountain of water gushed out, and a celestial-like figure appeared. The old man held up a worn-out axe and asked, Young man, I am the river spirit. Did you just drop this worn-out axe? Or this spirit artifact mountain-splitting axe? Or perhaps this immortal artifact heaven-splitting axe? The mountain-splitting axe and the heaven-splitting axe were two renowned axes in the central continent. Even mortals with no talent could soar to magnificent heights and become prominent figures if they got hold of these two axes. Mangu blurted out, It was the worn-out axe. The river spirit smiled faintly. What an honest young man. I will give all 3 of these axes to you. And thus, Mangu passed the second round. In the distance, Dai Bufan crossed his arms proudly. The condition to pass this stage is to obtain 3 axes. And the method is to honestly answer the river spirit's question. I said before that ancient barbarians are simple-minded, so passing this stage won't be a problem. He began to pay attention to the next group. Let me see how the boys with the single spiritual root and the sword's spiritual root will choose. The river spirit emerged once more, inquiring cordially, Young man, I am the river spirit. Did you just drop this worn-out axe? Or this spirit artifact mountain-splitting axe? Or perhaps this immortal artifact heaven-splitting axe? Lu Yang was puzzled, feeling like there was some strange force compelling him to drop the axe, bent down, sweeping his gaze over the 3 different axes. Raising his head, he stared at the river spirit pitifully, as if the latter was a fool. 2 of the axes belong to you. Don't you know which axes you own? Why are you asking me instead? The river spirit's smile froze in place, stumped for words. He could only follow Lu Yang's rhythm. I truly don't know which 2 axes belong to me. Lu Yang eyed the river spirit warily. In that case, if I choose an axe, you are not going to suddenly recover your memory and tell me which 2 axes are yours, right? Of course not, the river spirit vowed. The river spirit thought to himself, I'll just give you whichever you choose, since you need 3 to pass the test anyway. Lu Yang said calmly, Let me take a look at the 3 axes. The river spirit handed the 3 axes to Lu Yang. He muttered, Tricking me won't work, you know. Only the one you dropped counts as yours. The rules I set are comprehensively considered and foolproof. Lu Yang continued, All right, now ask me again. The river spirit reflexively repeated, Did you drop the worn-out axe? Or the spirit artifact mountain-splitting axe? Or perhaps the immortal artifact heaven-splitting axe? Before the old man could react, Lu Yang threw all of them into the river right in front of him. He pretended to be naive and exclaimed, I dropped all of them. The river spirit. Gritting his teeth, he could only say, What an honest young man, you may have all 3 axes. My axes? Meng Jingzhou hollered in the illusionary domain. His first thought was to go into the water to retrieve his axe. The river spirit appeared on the river's surface, holding 3 axes. Young man, you. Before the river spirit could finish, he witnessed Meng Jingzhou diving straight into the river. The bubbles he makes are even larger than mine. What on earth is going on? The river spirit was stupefied. It was his first time encountering such a situation. Before the river spirit could figure out what Meng Jingzhou was up to, something unusual happened once again. Ripples on the river's surface grew more rampant, prompting the river spirit to knit his brow. I am controlling my power well, so it shouldn't be due to my aura waves. 3 water jets spurted out of the river, spraying golden mist across the whole river which shrouded the river spirit's view. 3 figures appeared. They all bore Meng Jingzhou's appearance. But it was not a stretch to say that their mannerisms were completely different from the original. In front of him were Meng Jingzhou the mortal, Meng Jingzhou the formidable cultivator, and Meng Jingzhou the immortal. This phenomenon could be explained by the illusionary domain's fundamental principle. Anything that falls into the river would manifest in 3 forms: mortal, spirit, and immortal. Handed over, the 3 Meng Jingzhous requested simultaneously, grabbing their respective axes. With immortal Meng Jingzhou around, the river spirit was at his mercy. Immortal Meng Jingzhou obtained the heaven-splitting axe, the immortal artifact. Formidable cultivator Meng Jingzhou obtained the mountain-splitting axe, the spirit artifact, and the mortal Meng Jingzhou took advantage of the other 2's presence to deftly swipe the worn-out axe before the river spirit could register what was happening. With all 3 axes in hand, the illusionary domain shattered, and Meng Jingzhou successfully passed the second round. He happily boasted that he had passed this round, then asked Lu Yang how it went. He calmly replied, Piece of cake. Lu Yang mocked. They even changed the test questions. Was it useful? Young Master Meng answered decisively, completely useless. Then the 2 burst into laughter. Behind them, the examiners were hidden in the mist, quietly observing. Hearing this, Yunji and the Wendao Sect disciples all glanced at Dai Bufan, their looks seeming to say, Looks like an honest person at first glance. He could only laugh awkwardly. Ha ha, I misjudged. Suddenly, a piercing sound echoed across the sky. Just then, the real river spirit appeared with a golden and a silver axe in his hands, belligerently marching toward Lu Yang and Meng Jingzhou. Where are those two little brats? I must teach them a good lesson today. The other disciples hurriedly tried to stop him. Senior River Spirit, please quell your anger. Senior River Spirit, calm down first. But he kept roaring, don't anyone stop me. I'm going to break their arms and legs, reattach them, and then chop them off 100 times. In the end, it required Dai Bufan's intervention to restrain the incensed River Spirit. Senior, please quell your anger. If something happens to the participants of the test, the Wendao Sect will be laughed at if word gets out. Dai Bufan. This third test was personally designed by me, Dai Bufan. It will definitely teach these two a lesson. River Spirit turned and growled, what is your test? Mount Wenxin. A miniature mountain appeared in Dai Bufan's palm. He explained, a wondrous item refined by an elder of my Wendao Sect. On the mountain, immortals and mortals are equal, and everyone's physique is unified. Senior, just wait and see these two brats suffer a setback. With a flip of his hand, a mountain the size of his palm materialized. Within the time span of a few breaths, it had already shot up to a few hundred zhang in height. 1 zhang converts to about 3.33 meter. Dense with lush and verdant trees, it was no different from an actual mountain. On one side of the mountain was a long staircase leading to the summit. Dai Bufan declared loudly, what you need to do is climb Mount Wenxin. The higher you climb, the firmer your will is. There is no time limit for the test. If you can use Dharma treasures and props, their use is not restricted either. As long as you can climb to the 50th step, you will have passed this final test. Everyone exchanged glances with one another before finally turning to the strongest person in the group. Mangu, I'll go first. Conscious of everyone's eyes on him, he proceeded to take the lead without hesitation. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 10 steps. Mangu didn't break a single sweat for the first 10 steps. However, from the 11th step, the pressure gradually intensified. It was as if there was a rock on his back. The higher he climbed, the heavier it became. But I can still handle it. Let's keep going. Mangu gasped a few mouthfuls of air and steadied his breathing before heading toward the 20th step. The candidates behind began to stir. He stopped already. Someone voiced their concern. The examiner just said that the firmer the will, the higher one climbs, and this ancient barbarian is famously single-minded. He is already like this before reaching the 30th step. Won't it be even more difficult for us? A red-haired candidate nudged him and mocked. What, are you scared? If you're scared before even getting on the mountain, then I think there's no need to climb this mountain anymore. You might as well stay at the bottom of the mountain and watch me catch up from behind and surpass that barbarian. You! The remaining candidates also began cheering. He's right, just climb, surpass that barbarian. And so the group charged forward together. That's right, hesitating at the bottom of the mountain won't do. Let's all go up together. Surpass him, surpass him. Meng Jingzhou turned to Lu Yang. Brother Lu, it seems there is no technique to this stage. I have a heart-calming mantra that can calm the mind. I'll teach it to you right now. He casually refused. No need for now. I want to do an experiment. An experiment? The people nearby, upon hearing the word experiment, turned to look curiously with puzzled expressions. What is that boy with the sword's spiritual root doing, going up and down the mountain and steps? Don't tell me he's going to pull some stunt again? Observing from above, Dai Bufan snorted confidently. My Mount Wenxin has no loopholes for him to exploit. If he doesn't climb up step by step with his feet firmly planted on the ground, he will definitely not pass this stage. The whole mountain has the same effect. Not walking on the steps won't work either. Meanwhile, Meng Jingzhou began practicing the heart-calming mantra. His heartbeat slowed, and his mind gradually became extremely peaceful and detached. So peaceful that he fell asleep, just looking at the drool on his face. You could tell he was dreaming about something very pleasant. The heart-calming mantra allowed him to enter a state of Zen meditation. His mind was thoroughly serene without a single distracting thought. He felt as if he had become one with nature, his entire body comfortable and carefree. But just as he was enjoying the dream, a punch flew straight into the sun in his imagination. Lu Yang shouted, "Wake the hell up! Meng Jingzhou woke up with a pitiful face and one cheek swollen. He asked indignantly, "Brother Lu, why did you hit me?" Lu Yang irritably pointed up the mountain. "Look up the mountain. They've climbed that high already?" "Of course, I finished my experiments, drew the blueprints, and even waited for you for 2 shurchen." Lu Yang stopped him to prepare for a bolder plan. "Do you have a sharp artifact that can cut down trees?" "I actually do. It can be precisely controlled by intent, and cuts through iron like mud. My family gave it to me for self-defense. What are you going to use it for?" Lu Yang grinned in delight after finding a suitable tool. "Great, with this, we won't have to use the exhausting, stupid method to climb the mountain." Seeing this, Meng Jingzhou asked, "How do we pass the test by climbing? Did Brother Lu think of something?" He confidently replied, "Of course, I have seen through the true meaning of this test. What this stage actually tests is wisdom." Meng Jingzhou was confused after hearing this and asked again, "Wisdom? Why do you say so, Brother Lu?" He continued, "Climbing a mountain to test one's Dao heart is a common entrance test in storybooks. Cultivation techniques and artifacts are ineffective. One can only rely on willpower and the heart that seeks the Dao. You could say it's practical, classic, and traditional." Lu Yang pulled down a blue cloth and began explaining. "I naturally have a basis for this." The key points that Lu Yang summarized from the rules announced by Dai Bufan. There is no time limit for the test. If you can use your artifacts and items, their use is not restricted either. As long as you can climb to the 50th step, you pass this test. He emphasized that senior brother actually started hinting at us from the moment he set the test, see? He hinted multiple times that as long as we can do it, the method is not restricted. Meng Jingzhou listened intently, but his thoughts trailed elsewhere. From afar, Yunji was still quietly observing everything. She turned to ask her junior brother, "You actually designed such an ingenious trick into the test?" Dai Bufan broke into a cold sweat, awkwardly trying to explain. "That's right. After all, both the heart that seeks the Tao and the method of seeking the Tao are quite important." "Yes, that's exactly it." The other disciples whispered among themselves. "Method of seeking the Tao. My foot, senior brother Dai definitely just wanted to show off Mount Wenxin and ended up saying too much. Indeed, old Dai just loves showing off that artifact. Only eldest senior sister doesn't know and actually believes him." Hearing this, Dai Bufan's face darkened with anger, while the surrounding disciples immediately turned away, whistling and pretending not to notice to avoid getting dragged into trouble. Back to the test. A candidate's legs were heavily stepping forward on the rough stone steps of the mountain. Meng Jingzhou jumped from one step to another following Lu Yang's instructions to verify the hypothesis. Brother Lu was absolutely right. When I jumped up from the first step, before my feet touched the ground, there was no change at all. It was the same when I jumped back from the 5th step. It was only after I landed that my body suddenly felt lighter. After going up the mountain, our physiques were unified and artifacts were disabled. There must be a reason why such a loophole was left amidst all the strict rules. I believe you, Brother Lu, but how can we, with mortal bodies, climb to the 50th step without stepping on the ground? I've already designed it. Look here, Brother Meng. Lu Yang showed off his blueprint of a giant wooden ladder. Meng Jingzhou exclaimed in admiration, "Wow, Brother Lu, you also know woodworking and mechanics?" They continued discussing their plan under the curious gazes of the Wendao Sect disciples. "The dagger can't fly on the mountain, but chopping down trees is easy. We let the trees roll down the mountain, then use intent to control the dagger to process the wood." Great, great, great! How much force does your dagger have? When controlled by intent, it can exert 1,000 caddies of force. After cutting the wood, they began the assembly process. That's enough. We can have it help install some of the heavier components, especially the long ladder at the top. Without it, the two of us couldn't possibly push it up. Brother Lu, I don't understand the shape of this part here. It's like this. You piece it together like this, then twist it, and finally insert the wedge. This is the most standard mortise and tenon structure. Got it, got it. But wouldn't it be slow for us to build such a huge ladder? Don't worry, that barbarian reached the 40th step half an hour ago. He'll only get slower from here on out. Meanwhile, the candidates in the distance were crawling forward, drenched in sweat under immense spiritual pressure. Mangu was straining to move inch by inch. 41, he roared in pain, snot and tears streaming down as he struggled against the heavy pressure of Mount Wenqin. The now bare surrounding land looked as if a colossal pig demon had gnawed it clean. The two at the bottom of the steps were also drenched in sweat and gasping for air. They had spent half the day chopping trees and going through multiple rounds of trial and error before finally assembling a ladder. The red-haired candidate struggling up the mountain suddenly froze when he saw a massive wooden ladder appear beside him out of nowhere. Meng Jingzhou placed his hands on his hips and laughed loudly. Easy peasy. He felt extremely refreshed after completing the construction without expending any downhard effort, while Lu Yang beside him nodded smugly. Young Master Meng's small sword appeared with an exhausted expression. I did all the work, of course it's easy for you. It was Brother Lu's idea, so Brother Lu should go first. Quick, quick, hurry up and get on. The fastest, Mangu, is only one step away. Meng Jingzhou hurriedly dragged Lu Yang away, leaving Dai Bufan staring blankly at the devastated forest. He clenched his fists unconsciously, his eyes twitching. My mountain, my trees, my test question. Meanwhile, the old river spirit laughed gleefully. Ha ha ha, little Dai did a good job. You've sacrificed a lot for the sect's talent selection. Not only did you expose the loophole of Wenqin, but a large chunk of it was chopped bald. Such a sacrifice is truly great. Yunji also turned and said meaningfully, You indeed did a good job, junior brother Dai. Dai Bufan, with a darkened face full of grievance, forced a smile and gritted his teeth word by word. Hee hee, senior river spirit, eldest senior sister, this is what I should do. Little Dai. Only these two truly appreciated your well-intentioned efforts. You'll have to take good care of them in the future. Of course, senior river spirit, does this mean you're no longer angry? Since little Dai is so magnanimous, how can a senior like me be petty? The river spirit pointed toward the mountainside. Look, the two of them are already climbing up. Meng Jingzhou scratched his head, staring blankly at Lu Yang climbing the ladder. He asked, Brother Lu, what are you doing this? Lu Yang trembled as he climbed. This is too high, it's a bit dangerous. Is this high? Brother Lu, you wouldn't happen to be afraid of heights, would you? What do you know, this is called safety first. Charge, 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 forward, forward, the further forward, the lower and safer it gets. After much effort, Mangu finally reached the 49th step with all his remaining strength, the last step. Looking at the 50th step in front of him, he exclaimed in immense relief, convinced he was the first to conquer the challenge. Before Mangu could even steady himself, Lu Yang fell from the sky with a bright smile. Arrived, finally arrived, first place, haha. One firm step landed on the ground at the finish line. The Mount Wenqin climbing challenge was completed in a spectacular and highly unconventional way. Suddenly, a loud sound rang out, gravity abruptly increased, causing Lu Yang, who had just jumped down from the ladder, to smash face first into the ground. He hurriedly reached out, Brother Meng care. But it was too late. Meng Jingzhou also landed face first in an artistic manner, producing a sharp sound. Despite his face covered in blood from the fall, he still raised his hand in victory and greedily grinned. You're too late, Brother Lu, but I am second. The next to step onto the 50th step was Mangu, who stood there panting, staring at the two strange fellows with a puzzled expression. Meng Jingzhou waved friendly. Come, Brother Mangu, sit here. Meanwhile, Lu Yang turned down and shouted, Future fellow disciples, keep going. Young Master Meng asked, What does keep going mean? Lu Yang explained with a smile. It means work hard, sprint, and hurry up. Meng Jingzhou suggested, Then let's cheer them on together. So the three of them sat on the mountaintop, waving and shouting encouragement to the struggling crowd below. The red-haired candidate finally erupted with power, letting out a powerful roar and sprinting upward like a god. All the remaining candidates followed suit. The cries of keep going echoed everywhere. They were no longer climbing in silence and suffering, but truly battling themselves under the watch and encouragement of those who had already finished. As the sunset gradually descended upon the majestic Mount Wenqin, the cheers continued without end. This Daoheart test had inadvertently turned into a festival of relentless effort. A faint smile appeared on Dai Buffan's face as he observed from afar. He and the eldest senior sister looked toward the candidates and nodded in satisfaction. These two brats are actually quite interesting. Yunji lightly waved her hand, the bells at her wrist chiming softly. Mist surged forth, condensing into a drifting cloud that lifted everyone into the air. She added in a composed tone, "Congratulations, you have successfully passed the 3 trials and are now disciples of the Wendao Sect. Behold, what lies before you is the Wendao Sect." Gazing at the breathtaking scene before them, the crowd burst into admiration. "Wow, it's beautiful. So this is the Wendao Sect, how grand and imposing. Truly magnificent. Is this really the Wendao Sect? Incredible. From now on I'll pursue the immortal Tao here. Brother Lu, look, it truly deserves its reputation as one of the 5 great immortal sects." Brother Lu, seated upon the cloud, watching the ground recede further and further, Lu Yang swallowed hard, his heart nearly leaping out of his chest. "This can't be real, this can't be real. I'm standing on the ground right now, I'm standing on the ground." Meng Jingzhou stared at the scene before him, utterly speechless. Without hesitation, he stepped forward, grabbed his friend, and said, "Look, Brother Lu." The moment Lu Yang opened his eyes and glanced downward, he shrieked and clung tightly to Meng Jingzhou. Refusing to give up, Meng Jingzhou pried his eyes open with his hand and shouted, "Look!" When Lu Yang finally saw clearly, he was completely stunned by the sight before him. At the center of a vast mountain range stood a towering peak, its steep cliffs piercing straight into the clouds like a divine sword. Surrounding it were 8 mountains, each radiating unique and captivating aura waves. Yunji explained calmly, "The core of the Wendao Sect consists of 9 peaks. The central peak is Tianmen Peak, belonging to the sect leader. The other 8 peaks belong to the 8 elders. Each elder specializes in a different field, and the functions of these peaks vary accordingly. As for the remaining mountains, some serve as trial grounds, some extend from the elders' peaks, some are cultivation areas for disciples, and others are dangerous forbidden lands. The specifics of each peak cannot be explained in a few words. You will discover them in time. For the next month, the Wendao Sect emphasizes destiny. You may explore freely. After 1 month, you must choose an elder as your master, of course. The elder must also be willing to accept you. Greetings, eldest senior sister. Brother Yu, you can put me down now." Man Gu was straightforward in voicing his question. "What if we wander into a dangerous area? Are we only allowed to choose elders as masters? Can we not choose the sect leader?" She replied indifferently, "All dangerous places are guarded. You may explore as you wish. The sect leader can also be chosen, however, he has never been fond of teaching disciples, so your chances are extremely slim." Despite Yunji's words, many still longed to choose the sect leader. Within the discussion hall atop Tianmen Peak, a smooth water mirror hovered in midair, enchanted with special techniques. It allowed viewing from any angle. It had just displayed the entire process of the 3 trials. 8 figures watched intently, some nodding, others shaking their heads, offering praise or criticism, their opinions sharply divided regarding the candidates. At the height of their debate, they nearly came to blows. "This kid Mangu is quite good, his bloodline is pure, and his temperament simple. He is well suited to inherit my legacy. And that feathered immortal physique, immune to all methods, flawless and unmatched. It has been a long time since I've seen such talent. Li Haoran with the fire spiritual root is a fine candidate for both alchemy and artifact forging, but his temperament is too impatient." Bia Yen, the second elder, noticed the 2 youths and spoke. "As for the young man from the Meng family and Lu Yang, one possesses a pure Yang spirit root while the other has a sword spirit root. Both show great promise. The way they passed the trials was also ingenious, leaving everyone astonished. Such remarkable potential." Then, he glanced at the person next to him and asked, "Why not take them under your wing, big brother?" Qin Jianyan, the first elder, responded calmly, "If you value them so much, second brother, why don't you accept them yourself?" The second elder replied again, "I'm not suited, first elder, you only had 1 disciple, and they've already completed their training. Do you truly intend to idle away until retirement?" The first elder retorted, "I merely wish to retire peacefully. What's wrong with that? If you like them, take both yourself." The argument escalated. "You old rogue, I'll suppress you. How can you lack all ambition? And what if I refuse? You. Look, the Yunji girl told the others to find their quarters and kept these two behind, another elder pointed out. After everyone left, Lu Yang and Meng Jingzhou exchanged uneasy glances. Brother Lu, why do I have a bad feeling? Letting us pass first and then settling accounts, she wouldn't be that obvious, right? After a long silence, Yunji finally spoke slowly. You two. The moment her voice rang out, both of them jumped, stood upright, and shouted, Greetings, eldest senior sister, awaiting your instructions, eldest senior sister. Yunji continued coldly. I did not expect the two of you to pass the trials, and even rank among the top, but do not grow arrogant. The ancient barbarian Mangu, the feathered immortal physique Tao Yaya behind you, and Li Haoran with the fire spiritual root, all are geniuses no less than you. Hearing the word geniuses, Meng Jingzhou puffed up proudly and winked at Lu Yang. Then he looked up at the sky and said loudly, The feathered immortal physique is extremely rare, yet eldest senior sister said she ranked behind us, she flatters us too much. Lu Yang sighed helplessly. Senior sister probably meant that the one with the metamorphic immortal physique was standing behind us in line. Meng Jingzhou froze for a moment, then stammered awkwardly, Ah, is that so? I see. Yunji interrupted. I kept you here not only to remind you to remain grounded and guard against arrogance, but also to offer guidance. Sensing her serious tone, the two quickly pledged diligence in their cultivation. Seeing their sincerity, Yunji's expression softened slightly. After all, you did give me a ride. Meng Jingzhou, you possess the pure yang spirit root, your vitality is overwhelming, making you the natural bane of ghosts and demons. The third elder excels in this path. You may take him as your master. Lu Yang, you have the sword spirit root, the one most proficient in sword Dao within our sect is master, the sect leader, you should take him as your master. Overjoyed, Meng Jingzhou bowed. Thank you for your guidance, eldest senior sister. Lu Yang was stunned. But senior sister, you just said the sect leader does not like taking disciples. He also noticed the difference in her wording. To Meng Jingzhou, she said he can choose, but to him, she said he should. The meaning was completely different. It's fine, I can decide on his behalf regarding disciples. Yunji's calm tone left Lu Yang utterly speechless. After Yunji left, Lu Yang and Meng Jingzhou also went to inspect their cave dwelling. On the way, Lu Yang reminded, in a month, it won't just be us choosing an elder, the elders will also be choosing us. The basis for their choice will definitely be our performance over this month, your personality, your preferences, and how you choose to spend this month will all affect how the elders view you. Meng Jingzhou wondered, then what should we do this month to gain the elders' attention? Lu Yang replied with a knowing expression, deliberately disguising yourself well might catch the elders' attention, but it will also affect their judgment. If you end up acknowledging the wrong master and are assigned an unsuitable cultivation method, it will be disastrous. Meng Jingzhou pondered for a moment before saying, so we should just do whatever we want, right? Will that really allow us to cultivate into someone who acts with reckless abandon and supreme arrogance? In the end, Lu Yang could only click his tongue and reluctantly accept that idea. The first day of their journey of free exploration began in front of the majestic scripture pavilion. Lu Yang held his name token in hand, marking his status as a new disciple. Then he took out the Wendao Sect map and looked at it. On it was a small note. Exclusive for new disciples, everyone is free to choose where to go. For those who know nothing about cultivation, it is recommended to go to Yanchuan Peak to learn basic knowledge, or head to the scripture pavilion for self-study. Lu Yang looked at the map and muttered, this map really isn't very detailed. He decided to head inside, secretly proud of his smart choice to improve his knowledge. The interior space was overwhelming, filled with massive bookshelves towering to the ceiling, occupying every inch of space. A senior male disciple at the scripture library's entrance asked Lu Yang, newcomer? He cupped his hands respectfully and replied, yes, greetings, senior brother. The senior explained the rules. First, your current clearance only allows you to read on the first floor. Second, you can currently only check out one book. Third, you must take care of the books. If they get dirty or damaged, you will have to pay the original price as compensation. Lu Yang nodded. I've got it memorized. The senior male disciple said no more and let Lu Yang enter. The assortment of books was impressive and comprehensive. It encompassed a range of selections that included folk arts such as introductions to Xianxing, 2, comedy and books for cultivators, such as secret manuals of cultivation techniques and insights into qi training and foundation establishment. His hand touched a copy of Jade Maiden Heart Sutra on a high shelf. He marveled at the vastness of the first floor, where all kinds of knowledge from the mortal world to cultivation were gathered. Suddenly, his gaze was drawn to something tucked away within the bookshelf. Looking at the mysterious book, he wondered, why is there a book dropped in the gap here? Unable to resist his curiosity, he reached out and pulled it from its hiding place. He blew forcefully to scatter the thick layer of dust covering the book. The dust filled the air, making Lu Yang cough repeatedly, yet his hand still gripped the book tightly. But the moment he saw the title clearly, his eyes widened in shock. Dragon and Phoenix Transformation. What an imposing title, Lu Yang exclaimed. I don't even have to look at its contents to feel its imposing aura. For a moment, something came over him. He felt as if he could hear the cries of the dragon and phoenix. Their hazy figures appeared before his eyes, seeming very lifelike. Following that, the figures disappeared as if exiting a stage. He was startled and lightly slapped his face to check if he was still conscious. Lu Yang thought, was that a hallucination just now? No, it shouldn't be. Could it be that, like a novel's protagonist, I've encountered some great opportunity? Lu Yang was still skeptical yet slightly excited as he flipped to the first page. Just then, the unexpectedly sharp paper cut his finger, and a few drops of blood stained the page. Suddenly, the old book emitted golden rays of light. It seemed like something was about to break free from within. Lu Yang's heart pounded wildly. This entire process had been completely beyond his expectation and control. He didn't know if it was a blessing or a curse. He even felt as if a powerful presence was observing him, and he subconsciously didn't dare to move. He thought, the feeling is getting stronger, which means that the powerful presence is coming closer. At long last, the powerful presence stood behind Lu Yang, staring at him silently and mysteriously, frightening him until cold sweat broke out. That powerful presence finally spoke. Yes, Lu Yang shuddered. You dirted the book. Lu Yang turned back, finally discovering the identity of the powerful presence. It was the senior male disciple from the scripture library's entrance. His brows were furrowed as he stared at the bloodstains on the book, slightly displeased. I received a golden light notification that you dirted a book. Lu Yang was delighted. Senior brother, this book is truly magical. Did you see it? Magical my ass. The senior male disciple bluntly dismissed Lu Yang's imagination. The senior explained, the golden light is caused by the scripture pavilion's array, used to mark dirted books. Let me see what book it is, you'll have to pay the original price. But when he opened the book to check its actual contents, even the senior male disciple froze for a few seconds. The senior male disciple flipped through the book, his expression shifting from confusion to shock. How can this be? This is actually that legendary forbidden book. I thought these kinds of books were all cleared out and destroyed. Who hid it here? Lu Yang asked curiously, Senior brother, what kind of book is this exactly? The senior male disciple's expression turned serious as he pondered. Should I share such secret matters with this newcomer junior brother? He ultimately chose to tell the truth. This book records the mating process of dragons and phoenixes. Because it was too detailed, it received a joint complaint from the Dragon Clan and Phoenix Clan, causing it to become a forbidden book. Lu Yang picked his nose and said casually, Isn't that just bizarre erotica? The senior male disciple shouted angrily, Shut up. He quickly put on a pitiful expression, signaling an apology to seek forgiveness. Just then, he suddenly remembered something and asked nervously, Right, senior brother, that dragon and phoenix transformation should. How much is the compensation? Seeing as I'm a first-time offender, and a newcomer, give me a discount. The senior male disciple glanced at the book, then at Lu Yang, his eyes twitching. What dragon and phoenix transformation? Our Wendao Sect is an orthodox and righteous sect. How could we possibly have such a forbidden book? Don't be mistaken. misremembering the name and claiming you've seen the dragon and phoenix transformation will anger the dragon and phoenix clans. Sensing the tension, Lu Yang quickly changed the subject. All right, senior brother, I came to look for a book introducing this world. Unfortunately, I searched for a long time but didn't find anything. Could senior brother point me in the right direction? He tried to appear as sincere as possible to calm the senior's anger. The senior male disciple coldly turned away but still gave directions. Go 3 shelves to the left, 5th row from the bottom, and just look for a book named Geography of the Continent. Hearing this, Lu Yang bowed respectfully. Thanks a lot, thanks a lot. The two exchanged glances with faint smiles, as if they had truly understood each other's intentions. The matter of the forbidden book was nothing more than a fleeting distraction. Lu Yang had never lost sight of his true purpose for entering the scripture library. After searching for what seemed like an endless stretch of time, he at last uncovered the volume he had been seeking, Geography of the Continent, a text detailing the central continent. Lu Yang rubbed his palms together in excitement and eagerly began to read. In this world dwell humans, demons, monsters, and countless other beings. The central continent serves as the gathering ground of the human race, and its greatest authority is the Great Xia dynasty, the sole ruling nation. It governs the fate of humanity and embodies their rightful lineage. He pondered silently. If that is so, then my home also falls under the dominion of the Great Xia dynasty, even though it lies near the Wendao Sect. Lu Yang pressed on. To the east stretches a boundless sea scattered with islands. From time to time, ancient creatures such as the colossal Kuan fish, the mighty pink bird, and the faceless Hundun beast are said to appear. To the west lies the golden Buddhist kingdom, a land of infinite pure land realms and temples as numerous as grains of sand. To the south sprawls the demon region, ruled by the dragon tribe and phoenix tribe. The demon race is savage and bloodthirsty, locked in constant strife with the Great Xia dynasty. Some demons even infiltrate the dynasty itself, posing a hidden danger to humanity. To the north lies the extreme north, where ice never melts, vegetation cannot grow, humans are scarce, and other beings are seldom seen. Only the most formidable races can survive there. Humans and cultivators dominate the central continent. Some cultivators choose to enter official service within the court, while the majority either establish their own sects or join existing ones. Countless sects are scattered across the land, with the 5 great immortal sects standing at the pinnacle, among them the Wendao Sect, acknowledged as leaders of the righteous path. As Lu Yang continued reading, he analyzed quietly. Among the 5 great immortal sects, there must exist mighty figures at the tribulation transcendent stage. Cultivators of the demonic path are ruthless and bloodthirsty, posing an even greater threat than the demon race itself. Evil demons are inherently devoid of compassion. Encountering one means immediate retreat. Cultivators trade using high, mid, and low-grade spirit stones, while mortals rely on gold, silver, and copper as currency. Absorbed in these fascinating insights, he felt himself drifting within an ocean of knowledge. Only as evening approached did hunger strike him, reminding him that he had gone an entire day without eating. Wandering among the towering bookshelves, he saw no one in sight and raised his voice to call out. Senior brother, senior brother? Where is everyone? Are they off work? The senior female disciple who had been guarding the entrance earlier was gone. In her place stood another senior female disciple. The senior female disciple flushed slightly and lowered her head. Is there something you require, junior brother? Lu Yang spoke politely. Sorry to trouble you, senior sister. I'm a new disciple who arrived yesterday, and I'm still unfamiliar with the Wendao Sect. I would like to ask something. Holding up the map, he asked. The map only shows a cafeteria at 100 Forges Peak. Are there no dining places on the other peaks? Avoiding his gaze, she kept her head lowered and murmured softly. So you're a new junior brother. You'd best not go to the cafeteria at 100 Forges Peak, junior brother. Lu Yang was puzzled. Why is that? Is there something wrong with the dining hall? The senior female disciple explained timidly. 100 Forges Peak is where artifacts are forged. The cooks in that cafeteria are all master artifact refiners, highly skilled in controlling flames. It's just that what they create. No, the steamed buns they make can pierce through mountains. Torrential rain, pear blossom rice. What kind of weapon is yours? Head, your baguette is too weak. Imagining himself going there to eat as though entering a battlefield of life and death, he could not help but shiver. Observing Lu Yang's plain clothing, the senior female disciple hesitated briefly. Besides, buying weapons, oh, no, eating at the cafeteria requires spirit stones. But junior brother doesn't seem to have any spirit stones. Most cultivators may not dress lavishly, but their garments are usually made from materials like celestial silkworm silk, resistant to fire and water. From Lu Yang's simple outfit patched with numerous scraps, she could immediately tell he came from a mortal background. He collapsed flat onto the ground, thinking bitterly. She saw right through me. Is my poor aura really that obvious? Seeing this, the senior female disciple quickly tried to console him. No, don't feel discouraged. The Wendao Sect has many disciples from mortal origins, junior brother. You can go to Pill Cauldron Peak and ask the senior brothers and sisters there for discarded fasting pills. They may be called discarded, but it's only because their quality isn't high enough. There's no need to worry about them being ineffective or poisonous. Junior brother. Hearing that there was free food and that it was safe, Lu Yang brightened immediately. I understand. I am Lu Yang. Thank you, senior sister. May I ask your name? Blushing slightly, she introduced herself as Jo Lulu. Without delay, Lu Yang made his way to Pill Cauldron Peak, a mountain blessed with tranquil scenery and a humble thatched hut. The moment he arrived, a thick, potent medicinal fragrance rushed into his nostrils, prompting him to exclaim, "Ah, such a rich scent of medicine! As expected of Pill Cauldron Peak, even the air is sweet and fragrant. It must come from pill refining. Inhaling more should only bring benefits." Lu Yang could not resist taking several deep breaths. His body felt light, as if he were on the verge of transformation and ascension. While he was indulging in the aroma, a figure suddenly came sprinting toward him from afar, shouting frantically. That person cried out in alarm. "Junior brother, don't inhale it." Lu Yang looked around in confusion, unable to grasp the situation. He even calmly pointed at himself and wondered. Me? Is he talking to me? Seeing that Lu Yang had taken even more breaths, the man grew even more frantic. Quickly use the turtle breathing technique. If you don't know it, cover your nose immediately. I failed while refining pills, and this is poisonous gas leaking out. Breathe. Unfortunately, Lu Yang misunderstood again and drew in yet another deep breath. The poisonous fumes continued to spread. The man lunged forward desperately, but it was already too late. Lu Yang could no longer hear anything after that. What kind of place is this? Even the air is toxic, he murmured as he staggered to his feet. The world spun around him, and soon darkness engulfed his vision as he collapsed. When Lu Yang regained consciousness, a large face filled his vision, startling him fully awake. The person chuckled awkwardly. Junior brother Lu, you're awake? Glancing at the room filled with pill furnaces and books, Lu Yang asked where he was, while the man continued apologizing profusely. The senior brother introduced himself cheerfully. My name is Wu Ming. I got distracted pondering a problem while refining pills, lost control, and ended up producing poison. But don't worry, although I make mistakes often, I haven't poisoned anyone to death yet. Many thanks. Lu Yang cupped his hands, his expression unable to look any more reassured despite the senior brother's concern. Feeling an itch on his head, he reached back and paused before asking, I was poisoned just now, right? Then what happened to my head? Hearing this, Wu Ming broke into a cold sweat, guilt and panic written all over his face. He explained awkwardly, I spaced out again while carrying you back and accidentally knocked your head on the ground. Trying to reassure him, Wu Ming eagerly displayed a gleaming purple pill marked with 3 clear pill veins. You don't need to worry. As long as you're alive, Pill Cauldron Peak can cure you. Look, while you were unconscious, I specially refined a pill for you that even mortals can take. See these 3 pill veins? They signify perfection. Lu Yang still hesitated to consume it. It's not poisonous? Wu Ming reassured him repeatedly. Oh my, why won't you trust your senior brother? Noticing Lu Yang's obvious doubt, Wu Ming grabbed a small white mouse to demonstrate. Here, I'll let it test the pill for you. Watch carefully, nothing will go wrong. The little white mouse seemed to sense its impending fate. As Wu Ming picked it up, It squeaked continuously, as though bidding farewell to its family. After swallowing the pill, the tiny mouse began foaming at the mouth before collapsing lifeless. Its family cried in despair, as if foreseeing their own tragic end. Lu Yang stood frozen, cold sweat streaming down his body. Wu Ming hurriedly tried to explain. It's an accident, definitely just an accident. The mouse is too small. Its weak body can't withstand such potent nourishment, you see? Junior brother, wait here a moment. I know how to improve it. I'll refine another batch for you. As soon as he finished speaking, Wu Ming rushed toward the pill furnace. Alarmed, Lu Yang quickly grabbed onto him. Forcing out a strained smile, his eyes filled with pleading, he spoke in desperation. Thank you, but that won't be necessary. Please let me go, senior brother. Lu Yang's cave dwelling. The young man lay sprawled across his stone bed, his stomach growling nonstop from hunger. I can't sleep at all. Yesterday, I finally managed to escape from senior brother Wu Ming. Junior brother, where are you going? Senior brother is about to open the furnace for you. I have an emergency. Goodbye, senior brother. So hungry. It was already late when I came out, so I couldn't disturb the others to ask for fasting pills. I could only come back. The last time I ate I was yesterday morning, and I ate all the dry rations I brought with me. Someone is knocking? I don't want to move. I'll pretend no one is here. If no one answers him, he'll leave in a while. The moment he poked his head out, he froze when he saw an elder standing imposingly outside. He respectfully asked, You are? The seventh elder of Wendao Sect replied coldly, Wajizi, yesterday, a disciple told me about your encounter, so I came bring you some things. Wajizi took out a bottle of medicine, placed it on the table, and continued, These are pills to heal mortal injuries and illnesses, as well as a gourd of fasting pills, enough for your use. The seventh elder even kindly reminded him, Next time you go to Pill Cauldron Peak for fasting pills, don't look for Wu Ming. Also don't look for Wenda, Qin Kong, or Long Yan, forget it, just come to me directly. Lu Yang was stunned, silently thinking, Are you reciting a menu here? No, that's not right, is it? Lu Yang screamed inwardly, An elder like you leading such a dangerous mountain peak. The most dangerous one is actually you, right? Seventh elder. Wajizi flicked his sleeve and left, calling back over his shoulder, Take the healing pills first, I'm leaving, no need to see me off. Lu Yang enthusiastically waved, Take care, seventh elder. Left alone in the cave, he stared at the pile of medicinal pills, his emotions extremely complicated. The medicine bottles looked nice enough, but who knew what was actually inside them? He thought to himself, I have to eat them, otherwise I'll starve to death. I'll eat this fasting pill first. If nothing goes wrong, then I'll eat this healing one. After swallowing the pill, Lu Yang sat down and began staring intently at the medicine bottle on the table. 10 minutes passed in silence. Not poisonous. He leapt to his feet and shouted in delight. Lu Yang rubbed his stomach and thought, And it's really quite effective. I'm not hungry anymore. It even leaves a lingering fragrance in the mouth. I just don't know if the nutrition is balanced, and whether long-term consumption will lead to malnutrition. But since I have so many fasting pills, I'll focus on reading in the scripture pavilion and attending lectures at Yanchuan Peak this month. After all, my biggest problem right now is that I know almost nothing about this world. 1 month later, at the summit of Tianmen Peak, Lu Yang sat upright in Xiantian Hall, respectfully waiting for his master to arrive. The hall was desolate and silent, spotless without even a trace of dust. Wisps of incense smoke curled upward, calming the heart. Lu Yang noticed 3 plaques enshrined in the hall. The Taoist Xiantian, 120,000 years ago, the founder of the Wendao Sect. Heavenly Venerable Guiyuan, 100,000 years ago, the person who developed the sect from a small faction into a great one. Dao Lord Hahai, 50,000 years ago, the person who brought the declining sect back to its peak. He knew all 3 of them. They held extraordinary significance within Wendao Sect. Lost in thought, he nearly jumped when eldest senior sister's voice suddenly called out. Lu Yang had waited half the day without seeing anyone besides Yunji, so he asked, Eldest senior sister, where is our master? Yunji replied coldly, Master is currently in secluded cultivation. I will accept a disciple on behalf of Master, and guide your cultivation. Before formally cultivating, I will first introduce our lineage. With a flick of her hand, 3 portraits slowly descended before Lu Yang. She began explaining, "This is a portrait of Master. Master has very few rules. As long as you don't cause widespread outrage, he won't interfere. This is your second senior brother, this is your third senior sister." 3 sticks of spirit incense suddenly appeared before Lu Yang, handed to him by Yunji. "This is message incense, it can transmit the thoughts in your heart outwards. By lighting the message incense and bowing to Master, you are considered accepted as a disciple. Begin." This. Looking at the entire scene, Lu Yang felt something was deeply off. Why did becoming a disciple feel more like attending a funeral? Though full of doubts, he still lit the incense, and smoke gradually spread throughout the room. Lu Yang bowed respectfully. "Master above, please accept a bow from your disciple." "Senior brother, senior sister, your junior brother pays his respects." Afterward, he reverently inserted the incense sticks into the burner, following the ritual exactly. After the initiation ceremony was complete, Lu Yang hesitantly asked, "Eldest senior sister, although it might be a bit disrespectful to ask, but Master is definitely still alive, right?" Lu Yang feared Yunji might grimly inform him that he had stumbled upon some top-secret knowledge of the sect leader's death, and would need to be silenced. Meanwhile, Yunji seemed bewildered by his question. "Of course he is alive." After completing the ritual, the 2 stepped out into the courtyard. Yunji said coldly, "All right, let us formally begin cultivating. This is my first time teaching a disciple, and it is your first time being a disciple, so let the 2 of us just make do with each other." "Make do?" Hearing those 2 words, Lu Yang immediately broke out in cold sweat, feeling absolutely no sense of reassurance. Then Yunji waved her hand, pulled out a massive pile of items, and tossed them directly at Lu Yang. "You don't need to worry too much, I have made ample preparations." Flustered, he caught armfuls of pill bottles: White Bone Pill, 9 Revolutions Samsara Pill, 7 Level Pagoda Pill. Lu Yang cried out in panic, "These are all life-saving pills, how exactly are we going to cultivate?" Yunji replied briefly, "Simple. Sword cultivators emphasize sword intent and arm strength. Then we will practice arm strength first." With a casual wave of her hand, Yunji tore through space and pulled out 2 enormous vats of water from her storage space. Hearing the heavy thud as the vats slammed onto the ground, Lu Yang's heart skipped a beat as an ominous feeling surged through him. Yunji stepped onto the edges of both vats as though standing on flat ground. With one hand, she effortlessly lifted the upper vat, her bearing incomparably domineering and majestic. Lu Yang stood below, utterly speechless, unable to believe his eyes. Yunji said coldly, "Watch closely," then she casually tossed the vat high into the air. She caught the falling vat with perfect precision and overwhelming force. "Have you learned it? Practicing to this level is enough." Holding the vat in one hand, she turned her gaze toward her new junior disciple. "Give it a try." The moment she finished speaking, she hurled the vat directly at Lu Yang. A dull explosive sound rang out as the vat crashed heavily onto the ground, spiderweb cracks spreading beneath his feet. Lu Yang stared at the massive vat before him and swallowed hard. He cautiously pushed it with his hands, but the vat remained completely motionless. Refusing to admit defeat, Lu Yang braced himself and poured all his strength into his arms. He took a deep breath, tightly gripping the edge of the vat as his face twisted from the strain. Lu Yang roared, desperately trying to lift it off the ground, but his strength utterly failed him. In the end, he collapsed onto the ground, gasping heavily, "I can't do it anymore, I'm burnt out, this vat weighs at least 200 jin, I struggle to even lift it." Yunji merely looked at him calmly, as if none of this was surprising. She casually drew a talisman and slapped it directly onto the vat's surface. "Try again," she ordered, apparently having adjusted the vat's weight to a more manageable level. Lu Yang gritted his teeth, every muscle in his body straining to its limit as sweat poured down his face. This time, with the talisman's assistance, he finally managed to lift the vat, though his legs still trembled violently. But after only a few seconds, Lu Yang lost balance and crashed back to the ground along with the heavy vat. Yunji stood nearby and reminded him, "This weight is exactly your limit, Don't open your mouth to speak and let out the air. Pay attention to your breathing, keep it steady, and don't hold your breath to force the lift. Then she casually added, today, lift it for a day first to see the results. It will supervise you. Lu Yang stared in shock. One day? While Lu Yang was still reeling in disbelief, something suddenly emerged from the spatial rift nearby. A bizarrely shaped wooden puppet stepped out, looking extremely terrifying. Sitting on the ground, Lu Yang felt chills run down his spine as he stared at the strange creature that looked neither fully human nor machine. The wooden puppet approached and spoke in a dry mechanical voice. Please begin the vat lifting practice. No slacking or trickery allowed. Seeing how overly enthusiastic the puppet was, Lu Yang clicked his tongue. You don't need to urge me about this. Since I've decided to cultivate, I naturally won't slack off. He tightly gripped the edge of the vat, preparing himself for a true day of cultivation. Lu Yang strained as he lifted the vat, muscles taut and sweat pouring endlessly from his body. 1 hour later, Lu Yang was already completely exhausted. He muttered weakly, no more. This isn't something that can be done with sheer willpower, a whole day. Suddenly, the wooden puppet's hand forcefully clamped over his mouth. Lu Yang asked in shock, what did you give me to eat? The wooden puppet replied coldly, eat too when you are exhausted, and continue after resting for 10 minutes. Another 6 hours later, Lu Yang completely collapsed against the vat's rim, groaning in despair. I'm dying, my whole body hurts. The wooden puppet's hand once again ruthlessly stuffed medicine into his mouth. The pitiful disciple lay sprawled across the floor amid piles of empty medicine bottles, looking no different from a lifeless corpse. Seeing no response from its target, the puppet began violently shaking Lu Yang to forcibly wake him. At that exact moment, a small butterfly fluttered through the courtyard, instantly drawing the puppet's attention. It innocently reached out, trying to catch the butterfly, completely abandoning Lu Yang's collapsed body on the ground. The butterfly danced gracefully through the azure skies above Wendao Sect, creating an oddly peaceful scene. After its brief distraction, the wooden puppet returned to quietly standing guard beside Lu Yang, who still lay motionless. After a while, with no response from Lu Yang, the wooden puppet loaded him onto a cart, covered him with a sheet, and pushed him away. The male protagonist Lu Yang died of exhaustion from lifting a vat. The end. That evening, he awoke beside a lavish feast and shouted joyfully, ah, I'm back to life. The wooden puppet picked up food and brought it to Lu Yang's mouth. He hurriedly protested, no more, no more, I really can't eat any more. Although dishes cooked with spirit grass and spirit beast meat are good, my stomach has a limited capacity. In the corner of the room, a large bath suddenly appeared, filled with steaming purple liquid. Yunji said coldly, after eating, come soak in the body-tempering potion. You need to immerse your whole body. Don't leave your head exposed outside. I prepared a reed pipe for you to breathe through. Extremely heavy smell of medicine before you succeed in your vat lifting practice. The daily spirit beast dishes and body-tempering potion must not stop. Lu Yang happily agreed, okay, I'll soak right away. Excitedly removing his clothes, Lu Yang thought to himself, body-tempering potion, huh? I've heard of it but never seen it. I wonder what it feels like to soak in it. The moment Yunji left, a blood-curdling scream suddenly echoed throughout the entire residence. After Yunji left, Lu Yang stripped off his clothes, bit down on the reed straw, and jumped into the wooden bucket. In the next instant, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the air, as though a pig were being slaughtered. Hearing the scream, Yunji hurried back at once, pushing open the door as she stepped inside. What's wrong, junior brother? Lu Yang lay sprawled beside the tub, weakly gasping. Boiling water, eldest senior sister, do you use boiling water to bathe? Upon seeing Lu Yang completely unclothed, she showed a rare trace of embarrassment, and quickly shut the door again. Afterwards, Yunji took out 2 bottles of medicine and handed them to the wooden puppet, instructing, this is burn ointment, and this is rapid hair growth potion, help him apply the medicine. After handing over the medicine, she immediately departed, silently thinking, today I still need to finish reading that book, be careful not to injure mortals. She had barely taken a few steps when Lu Yang's scream rang out once more, be gentle, ah, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Yunji thought to herself, I should also read through 100 rules to be careful of when interacting with ordinary people. Body tempering in progress, self-produced and self-consumed. Time passed, and through brutally enforced training, spirit beast meat, and specially formulated medicinal baths, Lu Yang finally evolved from an ordinary mortal into an outstanding street performer with scorched, peeling skin and remarkable vat handling skills. 3 water vats, each weighing 200 pounds, were tossed around like sandbags by Lu Yang, tracing graceful arcs through the air. Lu Yang could even balance atop the rims of the vats, spinning in circles while performing the bagua steps as though walking on level ground. Even when the vats were laid sideways and rolling beneath him, he remained perfectly stable. He even had enough spare energy to juggle 3 additional vats simultaneously. This skill alone would undoubtedly earn roaring applause on any street corner. While training, Lu Yang sank into thought. Meng Jingzhou came by recently and told me that nearly everyone from our batch has already successfully drawn qi into their bodies. But after all this time, I'm still here tempering my body, playing with vats. After thinking this, he sighed deeply. I wonder how much longer I'll have to continue practicing like this. Just as discouragement began creeping in, Yunji suddenly appeared, startling him. She spoke. Your body tempering progress is slightly faster than I anticipated. It's time for the next stage. Despite rarely showing herself, Yunji had in fact been monitoring Lu Yang's progress the entire time. Lu Yang set the vats down and asked excitedly, Eldest senior sister, you're here, can I draw qi into my body now? He silently awaited her answer, scarcely daring to exhale. Yunji did not answer immediately. Instead, she ordered the wooden puppet to wheel out a wooden cart, then continued, You have already mastered lifting heavy as though it were light. The new challenge she presented was lifting light as though it were heavy, an exercise demanding extraordinary precision in force control. Before him was an entire cart piled high with delicate white tofu. His task was to lift each piece using only his palm without crushing it. Lu Yang stared blankly at the tofu challenge, but still confidently declared that he would give it a try. However, the moment his fingers twitched ever so slightly, the tofu crumbled apart and splattered onto the ground. His face turned pale as paper, sweat pouring down like rain as he realized this task was far more difficult than he had imagined. Forcing an awkward smile, he reassured himself that he had merely been careless, then resolutely prepared to start over. Don't rush, try again, try again. Yet no matter how many times he retried, the only result was shattered tofu beneath his overly forceful hands. Roaring with determination, Lu Yang threw himself back into the pitiful pile of tofu, refusing to believe he couldn't succeed. In the end, only 2 intact pieces of tofu remained before Lu Yang, leaving him utterly speechless in helpless despair. Yunji reminded him, Find the correct feeling, use your body to control the force, not your spiritual platform. With her palm facing downward, she casually grasped a piece of tofu and shook it lightly, yet it remained perfectly intact. Suddenly, she released it, allowing it to fall, only to snatch it again with lightning speed. Holy shit! Witnessing such an incredible display, Lu Yang's eyes nearly bulged from shock, utterly unable to believe what he had just seen. After demonstrating, Yunji turned and left, though not without adding, You must not waste food. The tofu you crush will become your meals from now on. This tofu is no ordinary item either. Long-term consumption regulates the 5 elements and offers countless benefits. Brimming with confidence, Lu Yang replied, Don't worry, this is far easier than carrying vats, and it's not tiring. Eating tofu for a few days won't be any problem at all. Yet only a few days later, he had already fallen into severe depression. Seeing tofu everywhere he looked and swearing he would never touch it again for the rest of his life. But with the instincts of a highly experienced supervisor, the wooden puppet suddenly loomed behind him, murderous intent blazing in its eyes, before applying the right palm rule directly to Lu Yang's cheek and sending him spinning several times. Clutching his face, Lu Yang asked blankly, What are you doing? The wooden puppet coldly replied, You're cross-eyed, and you didn't respond when I called you. It's time to eat. Today's dishes are pan-fried tofu, stir-fried tofu, deep-fried tofu, braised tofu, cold-tossed tofu, jellied tofu, tofu soup, tofu meatballs. Pan-fried tofu, stir-fried tofu, deep-fried tofu, jellied tofu, braised tofu, tofu soup, cold tossed tofu, tofu meatballs. Merely hearing the menu made Lu Yang dizzy, as though his entire world were spinning uncontrollably. All the ingredients were made from the tofu Lu Yang had crushed during the day. He had even heard that the tofu pudding and soy milk were gifts from a kind-hearted shop owner. Lu Yang mentally thanked all 8 generations of his ancestors. "I'm not hungry right now, I want to keep practicing," he firmly refused. However, the wooden puppet clearly did not accept that answer, and Lu Yang's agonized scream once again echoed across the mountain peak. "Wait, what are you going to do?" He lay face down on the floor, desperately pleading, "Spare me, I don't want to eat tofu anymore, just one meal, can I skip just one meal?" Not eating is not allowed. Returning to his room, Lu Yang collapsed onto his stone bed, looking utterly haggard as he weakly muttered, "Tofu, tofu, when will I finally stop having to eat tofu?" Just as exhaustion and culinary trauma overwhelmed him, his expression suddenly brightened as he sensed something unusual. Without warning, a dense mist surged in from all directions, engulfing everything around him. Lu Yang jolted upright in panic, completely bewildered. He found himself standing within a vast, mystical white void and wondered, "Where has this brought me? Is this still the Wendao Sect?" A deep, ancient voice echoed, "Young man, this is a temporary space constructed by this seat, no one can detect it." Lu Yang turned around but saw no one. The voice continued, "This seat has witnessed eternal ages and countless mighty experts whose cultivation shook the world, yet none escaped the passage of time, all reduced to mere size. But this seat remains eternal, unfettered and free. Today, on a whim, this seat performed a finger divination and determined that you share destiny with this seat, thus your soul was summoned here. This space contains everything from chi condensation to tribulation transcendence, cultivation methods and pills, secret manuals and profound insights. Upon reaching each stage, you will unlock a portion of this seat's inheritance." Lu Yang's eyes widened in utter disbelief, unable to believe such a heaven-defying opportunity had simply fallen into his lap. The moment he heard about supreme inheritance, the young man instantly changed his tone, respectfully clasping his hands as he asked, "Who is senior?" "Ha ha!" In response to his eager attitude, only hearty laughter reverberated endlessly throughout the mist-filled void. Then, a shadowy figure gradually began to emerge. The existence of such an unmatched supreme expert was something far beyond Lu Yang's wildest imagination. The mysterious senior let out 3 hearty laughs before leisurely stepping forth from the swirling mist. His face was white, his skin was fair, and his head was a block of tofu. Senior Tofu came closer, speaking faster, "I am Heavenly Venerable Tofu. Throughout the seat's entire life of cultivation, one absolute truth has prevailed: the more tofu you consume, the faster your cultivation advances, establishing an unshakable foundation, defeating opponents above your rank, embracing peerless beauties, and ascending to the apex. All of this can be achieved through eating more tofu alone." Terrified to the point that cold sweat drenched his body, Lu Yang's eyes flew open in shock. He jolted upright in bed and blankly scanned his surroundings. Only after confirming there was nothing but darkness and silence around him did he finally release a breath of relief. So it was merely a dream, thank heavens. Even so, Lu Yang could still feel his back soaked with icy sweat, the lingering horror deeply rooted in his heart. Yunji slowly opened her eyes as a thread of purple light from Lu Yang's chamber returned to her fingertip. She softly murmured to herself, "With this, he should become even more diligent in his cultivation. Master once said that appropriate pressure can be transformed into motivation, making one strive even harder for success." Yunji herself was living proof of that philosophy, so she firmly believed her master's teachings were entirely reasonable. Thus, she employed the dream entering technique to provide Lu Yang with just the tiniest bit of motivational pressure. Though the lines 8th Elder provided are somewhat embarrassing, I truly wonder how he manages to say them normally. Yunji excelled at seeking outside consultation, and every line and scenario in the dream had been meticulously scripted by 8th Elder himself. 8th Elder had confidently guaranteed Yunji that this approach would absolutely work. Some more time quietly passed. Yunji soon noticed that Lu Yang could now effortlessly grasp tofu, toss it high into the air, and catch it securely without fail. He had even begun treating tofu like a weighted sandbag, throwing it back and forth in training with the puppet. It was almost as though the soft, delicate tofu had fused into an extension of his own physical being. After silently observing him for a while, Yunji stepped forward and coldly declared, lifting lightness as though it were weight, "You have succeeded. This phase is complete. Congratulations, you have officially entered the qi condensation stage." Lu Yang froze in disbelief, pointing at himself. Qi condensation stage? Me? A rare trace of a faint smile appeared upon Yunji's face. Early morning, 3 days ago. Instantly, Lu Yang's memories resurfaced. That morning, he had risen unusually early. Facing the dawn's first light with closed eyes, he deeply contemplated how to properly seize the tofu. Find the correct sensation, let your body control the force, not your spiritual platform. Don't consciously calculate the amount of force, trust entirely in instinct. As his thoughts deepened, he gradually lost all awareness of the external world. As though his very existence had transformed into a drifting current of air suspended between heaven and earth. Soon after, his consciousness became heavy and slowly returned to his body. In that fleeting instant, a profound sense of enlightenment washed over him, and he vaguely sensed a stream of warm energy circulating within his dantian. It was at that exact moment that he successfully grasped tofu for the very first time. He suddenly recalled that Yunji had not been physically present while he was training, which meant Big Senior's sister had been secretly observing him from somewhere all along. Lu Yang muttered thoughtfully to himself, "So, that sensation was qi entering the body. Does everyone cultivate qi into the body like this?" Yunji calmly shook her head. "No. This is the most ancient cultivation method passed down by the primordial ancestors, sensing nature itself and entering the unity of heaven and man. Your meridians were already open during the medicinal bath, making this method the most suitable for you, superior to all conventional qi condensation techniques." Lu Yang curiously asked, "Then how should I continue cultivating from here? Now that qi has entered my body, shouldn't I begin learning an actual cultivation technique?" Yunji continued, "There are countless cultivation techniques for sword spiritual roots. I possess an entire box full of them, but unfortunately, none are suitable for you. Because none of them were specifically created for you from the very beginning, therefore, starting today, I assign you a long-term mission: create your own cultivation technique." When Yunji spoke of crafting one's own cultivation art, she did not intend for Lu Yang to stumble through the process unaided. She fully planned to personally guide him throughout. Even so, the difficulty of such an undertaking was undeniable. Creating cultivation arts was normally something only the greatest senior experts in the cultivation world could accomplish. Lu Yang's lips twitched uncontrollably. Create my own cultivation technique? Isn't that something only legendary seniors can do? I've only just drawn qi into my body, and I barely understand anything. Asking me to create my own technique is a little too. Yunji interrupted his complaints before they could continue. Creating cultivation techniques isn't nearly as difficult as you imagine. Back then, in order to handle complete sect missions, I created quite a few cultivation arts myself, then simply claimed they were discovered within ancient heavenly grotto ruins. Unfortunately, eventually every known ruin and heavenly grotto had already been used as my excuse, leaving me with no plausible origin stories for additional techniques, and thus, I was exposed. Lu Yang blinked in astonishment. "How did that ever happen?" Yunji replied with complete calm. "Because according to my own reports, I had already explored every single ruin and heavenly grotto in existence. There were no more locations left for fabrication, see? Creating cultivation arts truly isn't difficult." Yunji's explanation was delivered with such flawless logic that it sounded oddly convincing. Lu Yang opened his mouth, inwardly wanting to protest. "Eldest senior sister, can what you're saying actually be trusted? I'm an honest person, please don't deceive me. Your innate talent is monstrous beyond comparison. When you do this, it's called creating cultivation arts. If I do it, it would simply be inventing random nonsense." What exactly is that expression on your face? Under Yunji's icy gaze, every complaint Lu Yang wished to voice was forcibly condensed into a single sentence. "Nothing. Eldest senior sister is absolutely right. Though you've become a cultivator, you are still far from qualifying as a true sword cultivator. Take this book. Yunji handed him an enormous ancient tome crafted from the hide of some unknown demonic beast. It was ancient, heavy, and thick beyond measure. Elite knowledge assistant. The moment Liu Yang opened it, a violent wave of baleful aura assaulted him directly. Countless demonic beasts seemed to leap from its pages, and faint roars echoed ominously in his ears. Liu Yang pondered inwardly. According to the records in the scripture pavilion, ancient sword cultivators often comprehended their first sword intent through life and death struggles against demonic beasts. Eldest senior sister's meaning is crystal clear. She wants me to use this tome to comprehend my own sword intent. Liu Yang nodded solemnly. I understand everything now. Yunji glanced at him with slight confusion, uncertain what exactly he believed he understood. Regardless, she casually waved her hand, prompting the puppet to push forward yet another cart overflowing with tofu. It's good that you understand. Next, your focus must be precision. Properly wield this green peak sword. Your next stage of cultivation is to use the sword tip to carve tofu into the exact forms of the demonic beasts recorded within this book. Huh? Tofu again? Could it be that last night's dream was not merely a nightmare, but some prophetic omen foretelling my future Taoist title? Tofu Heavenly Sovereign? Several days later. In little more than 10 days, Liu Yang had already mastered carving tofu into detailed demonic beast forms, along with statues of both himself and Yunji. He could even perfectly carve the 9 lotus-like mountain peaks of Wendao Sect. After this stage was complete, Yunji finally appeared once more to offer rare praise. Not bad, your mastery speed this time is significantly faster. After all, if I don't escape tofu soon, I'm genuinely going to die. Then, Yunji produced a single tiny white sesame seed. Sword cultivators must also sharpen their eyesight. This is one white sesame seed. I will crush all this tofu into pieces and scatter this sesame seed among it. Your task is to locate that single seed in the shortest possible time. The instant the sesame seed vanished into the broken tofu, it completely disappeared from sight. Liu Yang stood frozen, mouth agape, utterly stunned by the sheer absurdity of this training. Just as Yunji calmly prepared to toss in yet another sesame seed, Liu Yang lunged forward at maximum speed, physically shielding the tofu cart with his own body. The sesame seed Yunji flicked shot directly into Liu Yang's abdomen with terrifying force, instantly blasting him backward as he coughed up fresh blood. Liu Yang crashed heavily onto his knees and desperately pleaded, "Eldest senior sister, let's please change the training method." Yunji looked down at him with her usual serene, unwavering expression. Oh, okay. From that day onward, Liu Yang's life became unexpectedly fulfilling and packed to the brim. Liu Yang's daily routine. Every dawn, he would sit alone atop the mountain peak, quietly meditating beneath the first rays of morning sunlight. Later in the mornings, he devoted himself completely to tempering and refining his swordsmanship. By noon, he would casually find a sturdy tree branch and take a short nap upon it. Once afternoon arrived, his spirit would surge with energy as he sparred against the puppet, and inevitably got beaten senseless. After finishing dinner, he would sit beneath the candlelight and complete every assignment Yunji had left for him. In the blink of an eye, an entire year passed, and Liu Yang's cultivation steadily advanced. Look, isn't that the sect leader's 4th disciple, Liu Yang, the one with the sword's spirit root? Inside the great mission hall, Liu Yang stood out so prominently that wherever he went, people couldn't help but praise him as a rare and gifted young cultivator. Not only had Liu Yang claimed first place during the entrance examinations, but he also possessed a sword spirit root, provoked both the famously easygoing river spirit and Dai Bufan, became the sect leader's direct disciple, and even received Yunji's personal instruction. With all of those factors combined, he had long become the most eye-catching figure among the newer disciples. Even Tao Yeye's heaven-defying beauty could not completely overshadow his fame. Liu Yang? Big senior sister's personal disciple? Damn, it's really him. I heard he's only been in the sect for a year, and a few days ago he already stepped into the foundation establishment stage. Already foundation establishment? No wonder he came to the great mission hall. He's probably preparing to take missions and gain practical experience. By now, Lu Yang had long since grown accustomed to the surrounding gazes that treated him like some sort of rare spiritual beast. The senior brothers are correct. I successfully broke through to Foundation Establishment 7 days ago, then spent another 7 days consolidating my cultivation before officially leaving secluded training. I came here today under Big Senior Sister's orders to interact with the outside world more often. Looking around at the endless mission boards inside the Great Mission Hall, Lu Yang could not help clicking his tongue in amazement. There were missions ranging from exterminating murderous old devils at the fusion stage all the way down to searching for missing cats and dogs. Among them, one particular mission immediately caught Lu Yang's attention. It was requesting a dual cultivation technique, and specifically emphasized that it had to be a proper orthodox one. The mission had been posted by a fox demon registered under the Wendao Sect. Her name was Su Yan, merely an ordinary little fox who once lived quietly in the ancient mountains and forests. While playing in the woods, she accidentally became trapped in a hunter's snare. Fortunately, a young nobleman happened to be wandering through the mountains and rescued her, effectively ruining the hunter's entire day. Later on, Su Yan discovered a transformation fruit hidden inside a mountain cave and consumed it, awakening the bloodline within her body and becoming a true fox demon. Being naturally grateful by temperament, she transformed into human form and sought out the young noble to repay his kindness. By then, the young master had already inherited his family and encountered countless women. Yet none of them possessed beauty equal to Su Yan's. Naturally, the two eventually became husband and wife. But not long after their marriage, a troublesome issue emerged. Because Su Yan had been born with a charming constitution, she would unconsciously absorb yang energy at all times. Whenever the couple shared intimacy, her husband would end up severely depleted of yang energy. Fortunately, yang energy could recover over time, meaning it was not life-threatening so long as they controlled the frequency of their intimate encounters. Yet another problem soon followed. The two were newlyweds deeply attached to one another, so how could they possibly endure limiting their bedroom affairs? However, if they indulged too frequently, the husband would gradually become visibly weak and exhausted, easily giving rise to rumors and suspicion. Therefore, Su Yan hoped to cultivate a proper dual cultivation art capable of controlling her charming constitution. Lu Yang silently thought to himself, "This paper has already yellowed with age, and nobody ever accepted this mission. After all this time, is her husband even still alive? Hey, look over there! Lu Yang is reading the dual cultivation mission. He's the first elder's disciple and possesses a sword's spiritual root. Surely he isn't planning to cultivate dual cultivation techniques, right? Who knows, let's see whether he accepts it. There are thousands upon thousands of righteous Tao paths available, yet you insist on indulging in this kind of thing. Heh, the Wendao Sect contains countless cultivation arts, but you choose this shameless, vulgar path instead. No wonder nobody accepted this mission. Who would dare touch it? Once word spread out, it'd basically be social death. Forget it, I'm going to check other missions instead." Eh? Searching for a dual cultivation art? This mission sounds pretty good, I'll take it. A voice suddenly rang out from behind Lu Yang. Judging by the tone alone, it was unmistakably Meng Jingzhou. "Brother Meng? How does he dare to accept that kind of mission?" "Brother Lu, I recognized you the moment I heard your voice. Brother Lu, you've reached Foundation Establishment 2? Finally stepped into Foundation Establishment." Meng Jingzhou spoke with great enthusiasm. Breaking through to Foundation Establishment is definitely worth celebrating. "Brother Lu, my master said that before our generation entered the sect, the weakest people in the Wendao Sect were already at the Golden Core stage, so there aren't many missions in this hall suitable for Foundation Establishment cultivators. Brother Lu, hurry and pick one before all the good missions get taken away." "Alright, thanks for the reminder, Brother Meng. After we finish our missions, let's go eat something good together, my treat." "Okay. That's right, he has a pure yang spiritual root. Even if he obtained a dual cultivation technique, he wouldn't even be able to use it, so nobody can really criticize him." After Meng Jingzhou departed, Lu Yang continued examining the missions plastered across the walls, quietly reading through their descriptions. Traces of demonic sacrificial rituals have surfaced in the northern region, recommended for cultivators at Golden Core stage or above. Missing spiritual pet, a two-winged fierce tiger with mid-nascent soul cultivation. Numerous signs around Mount still suggest the existence of an undiscovered heavenly grotto, recommended for cultivators at late nascent soul stage or higher, just as expected. There really aren't any suitable missions for Foundation establishment cultivators. A nearby senior brother also noticed the mission Lu Yang had been staring at and couldn't help laughing softly. Every single time I see this long-term mission, I immediately think of eldest senior sister's glorious achievements. Long-term mission, collecting cultivation techniques not yet recorded within the Wendao Sect, with rewards distributed according to the quality and value of the techniques submitted. Note: Big Senior Sister Yinji, please refrain from accepting this mission. The scripture library has already specially established a dedicated Yinji section. You may directly place all cultivation techniques you create there instead. Another disciple chimed in from the side. Back then, Big Senior Sister would casually write down cultivation arts she personally invented, then claim they had been discovered within ancient cave ruins. Not long after her lies were exposed, someone actually survived countless dangers and reached the deepest part of one of those ancient cave ruins. They even successfully retrieved the authentic cultivation manual. But after bringing it back for comparison, they discovered that in almost every aspect, it was actually inferior to the version eldest senior sister had casually fabricated. Ugh, that's seriously blinding. More than that, every single cultivation technique eldest senior sister fabricated ended up stronger than the genuine versions recovered from Heavenly Grotto ruins. After comparing numerous manuals, the sect elders collectively fell silent for several straight days. Eldest senior sister's talent is truly unparalleled throughout history, practically unmatched beneath the heavens. With the sect master currently in secluded cultivation, having eldest senior sister temporarily manage the sect's affairs is completely reasonable. There's even another rumor going around, saying that eldest senior sister forcibly seized authority, imprisoned the sect master, and even keeps the 8 great elders under her control. Some people even claim they heard miserable whimpering sounds coming from Tianmen Peak at night, saying it was the sect master crying from inside a dungeon cell. I've never heard any crying from Tianmen Peak before, forget it, better keep looking at missions. Bird-type demonic beast capable of speaking human language, species currently unidentified, no recorded incidents of harming humans or using demonic arts at this time. Requesting a Taoist cultivator from the Wendao Sect to resolve the issue regarding this demon bird. After contemplating briefly, Lu Yang decided to accept this particular mission. He walked directly toward the reception desk. Senior brother, I would like to accept the mission involving the bird-type demon beast. I would also like to accept the mission regarding the bird-type demon beast. Another voice sounded out almost at the exact same moment. It belonged to a young girl dressed in a light pink gown. Her skin was fair and delicate, her beauty resembling blooming peach blossoms beneath spring rain. Junior sister Tao Yaya? What a coincidence. Lu Yang smiled faintly. Since joining the sect, he had only met Tao Yaya once before. Living year-round atop Heaven's Gate Peak meant he rarely encountered outsiders. So it's senior brother Lu. Congratulations on successfully reaching Foundation establishment. Tao Yaya revealed a sweet smile, clearly carrying some curiosity toward this senior brother who almost never showed himself publicly. Tao Yaya, spiritual root unknown. Tao Yaya smiled sweetly. Senior brother Lu, there aren't any Foundation establishment stage missions. How about we complete one together and split the reward evenly? Lu Yang gladly agreed. Of course, we can look out for each other while gaining experience together. Then, senior brother Lu, Chiha Commandery isn't exactly close to here. How about we take a flying boat? Going on missions was not simply about the rewards. What they valued more was the experience gained during the process. Inside the fly boat, Lu Yang sat quietly on the chair, his legs trembling nonstop. Senior brother Lu, the scenery outside is great. Do you want to go out and take a look? No, I'll pass. Why? Senior brother Lu, you look very nervous. Are you okay? Lu Yang shifted into a cross-legged position. He pretended to look serious and said, Junior sister Tao Yaya, did you know? Oh? Our human race is quite a contradictory race. Often, people both fear something, and simultaneously worship and yearn for it. I heard that in the ancient era, demons ran rampant, and natural disasters were endless. The human race was weak, struggling to survive in the cracks. Those great demons relied on their ancestral bloodlines, robust physiques, and innate divine abilities to run amok in the barbaric lands. The human race feared the great demons and feared the natural disasters because they were insurmountable. At the same time, they worshipped the great demons and natural disasters, hoping to obtain even stronger power. Thus, the ancient ancestors developed cultivation methods, learning divine abilities from the bloodlines of demonic beasts, and comprehending Tao arts from the wind, rain, thunder, and lightning. It is exactly because they overcame countless hardships and forged a new world that the human race continues to thrive endlessly. Have you realized it? This contradictory mindset is an essential element for the human race to become the overlords of the continent. The same goes for the sky. The yearning and reverence for the sky flow within our bloodlines. It's a mindset that every member of the human race possesses. Calmly pondering for a bit, Tao Yaoye interrupted Lu Yang's discourse. I understand now. So, senior brother, you are afraid of heights, and you were just explaining the reason for your acrophobia? Yes. Tao Yaoye didn't know what to say to that. Senior brother Li, you have a sword's spiritual root, right? Then what will you do after you learn to use a flying sword? Tao Yaoye glanced at the ancient-looking sword hung at Lu Yang's waist and the old calluses on his palms. Achieving all this in just a year is enough to show how diligent he has been in practicing his sword. Lu Yang answered in a proper manner. Sword immortals don't have to be synonymous with soaring through the skies. Have you heard of Land Sword Immortal, junior sister Tao Yaoye? Tao Yaoye was taken aback. Land, Sword Immortal? Who said that immortals must be high up? The word immortal contains the word mortal. Immortals are in the sky while mortals are on land, together. Immortals traverse both the sky and land freely, as high up as the moon and stars and as deep as the abyss. The term Land Sword Immortal illustrates that sword immortals are not only in the skies, they can also walk the land. When their sword flies out, they can slay demons and devils from 1,000 li away. My goal is to become an earthly sword immortal. Tao Yaoye was just about to follow along and nod when the cool-headedness she had trained over the years stopped her and let her realize the crux of the problem. Hold on, I've only heard of land immortals. Where did the term Land Sword Immortals come from? Lu Yang stared at Tao Yaoye for 3 seconds, as if ancient secrets lay hidden within him. Then he slowly let out, I made that up. His attitude was so sincere that Tao Yaoye was rendered speechless. During the first round of the trials, she had personally witnessed the announcement of Lu Yang's sword's spirit root. At that time, her image of Lu Yang was that of an unyielding and upright sword capable of splitting the heavens. Despite not being a man of many words, he was staunch and unwavering no matter the obstacles. After the second round ended and she heard of Lu Yang's unique method of passing, she felt that sword cultivators were quick and flexible with their minds. And she believed that Lu Yang would likely achieve even greater heights in the future. By the third round of the trials, she had been so exhausted on Heart-Seeking Mountain that she could barely open her eyes. Just when she thought that it was impossible for anyone to reach the 50th step, she saw Lu Yang accomplishing just that. Lu Yang's success had given her a tremendous boost in morale. Thank you, I will do my best. Motivating her to continue climbing up the mountain, until she finally passed it. He really is a gentle, handsome, strong, and smart person. With only 3 days of interaction, her image of senior brother Lu had completely crumbled. Junior sister Tao Yaoye, are you alright? I'm fine, senior brother Lu. It's just that I suddenly realized that some things aren't as perfect as I imagined. That's good then, calculating the time, it's about time to disembark. Senior brother Lu, do you know how to disembark? Disembarking, huh? Lu Yang had heard from Yunji that they could directly jump off the boat should they wish to alight. That got his eyes twitching non-stop. Eldest senior sister, I am only at the foundation establishment stage. I'll die if I jump. Is there really no other way? Of course there is a way, but you need to discover it yourself. For cultivators, the ability to think independently is absolutely necessary. Don't ask questions or look up information this time. I'm testing whether you possess the ability to think independently. Lu Yang puffed out his chest, slightly proud. That is only natural. It's just disembarking. With your senior brother Lu's brilliant intellect, of course I've already thought of a perfect method. All passengers, those heading near Quiet Commandery, can disembark here. If you miss your stop by not disembarking, our merchant guild will not be held responsible. Tao Yoye took out a meticulously crafted red paper umbrella. Lu Yang took out a parachute. Senior brother Li, is this your method of disembarking? That's right, making this thing was really troublesome. The remaining strangers and Tao Yoye turned to look at Lu Yang in succession, their eyes filled with bewilderment. Dear passenger, if you do not use the standard umbrellas provided by us, our merchant guild will not be held responsible if you fall to your death upon landing. Of course, even if you use the standard umbrella, responsibility depends on the situation. I know. Lu Yang appeared unflustered. Despite the confused gazes, he returned a brilliant smile, as if he wasn't the one out of place. In reality, it was a scene of violent storms and raging seas in his heart. He didn't even know where to start cursing, all his words condensed into one sentence. Eldest senior sister, you misled me. When there is clearly such a simple method, why did you have to set up some kind of test? Is everyone not disembarking? We're about to pass the K Commandery territory. You go first, brother. Yeah, I really want to see how you use this backpack artifact. Friend, did you make this yourself? Let's go, junior sister, coming. Everyone opened their umbrellas and leaped off one by one, high up in the sky. Several people held on to their open umbrellas, appearing like small sesame seeds from a distance. Unlike the others, Lu Yang pulled the rope on his back. With a loud sound, the parachute opened, making Lu Yang stand out against the backdrop of the sky. Normally, Lu Yang would be very nervous at such high altitudes, but he didn't have the chance to think about it. It was too embarrassing. Wow, senior brother Lu, this thing of yours is really interesting. It actually doesn't require magical power? Interesting? Actually, I think it's pretty good too. Yes, senior brother Lu, this thing is truly unique, and it's also very big. Everyone is looking at you. Junior sister Tao Yaoya, we should hurry in the direction of Taiping Township, okay? As soon as they arrived, they were warmly welcomed by the village chief, as if he had known about their arrival. You two immortal masters have finally arrived. I am the township head of Taiping Township. Although this township head appears to only have a cultivation base at the late stage of chi condensation, yet he was able to know the exact Shurhan and direction of our arrival beforehand, coming out early to welcome us. He is definitely not simple. The way you jumped off the flying boat was truly extraordinary. I saw you from afar and figured it was you. Township head, my name is Lu Yang, and her name is Tao Yoye. We are both disciples of the Wendao Sect. Tao Yoye, the mission's description of the demon bird wasn't very detailed, so please inform us in detail, Township head. It happened about 20 days ago. I reported it to Tsuha Commandery at the time, but Tsuha Commandery was short-handed, and seeing that the demon bird hadn't hurt anyone, they told us to wait. This wait lasted for 20 days. Demon, there's a demon, a man-eating great demon. Great demon. What's wrong with Taylor Fong? What demon? A man-eating demon is no small matter. Among the 30 or so cultivators in Taiping Township, my cultivation is the highest, and I am the township head. A man-eating great demon? Who did it eat? Taylor Fong brought the neighbors together to find me. I don't know who it ate, but it can speak. It must have eaten humans to be able to speak. What does that demon look like? Where is it now? What kind of demon arts does it have? In my house it's a bird demon. I wanted to ask clearly about the situation first, but Taylor Fong was badly frightened, and I couldn't get anything useful out of him for a long while. Left with no choice, I could only go investigate alone. Who are you, and where is Zhang Guanjia? But before I even entered the house, that demon bird asked loudly. Zhang Guanjia? Who is that? Zhang Guanjia grew up in Taiping Township since he was a child. He is a cultivator at the 3rd level of chi condensation, and also one of the few school teachers in the township. Hearing the demon bird ask about him, I gathered my courage and tried to communicate with it. May I ask what business the Demon King has with Zhang Guanjia? But that demon bird did not answer, and instead flew out of the tailor shop. Since then, it has been flying all over Taiping Township, speaking human language, throwing everyone into a state of panic. Since the demon bird is looking for Zhang Guanjia, have you tried letting the demon bird and Zhang Guanjia meet? There was no need for us to let it meet Zhang Guanjia. It found him on its own. Demon, 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 demon. A few days ago, that demon bird went to Zhang Guanjia's house and yelled demon at Zhang Guanjia. Many people heard it, and the township was thrown into utter chaos. Some people say that the demon bird has never hurt anyone, so maybe it came to warn us that Zhang Guanjia is a hidden great demon and extremely dangerous. Others say that Zhang Guanjia grew up in the village since he was a child, so it must be the demon bird playing tricks on us. Immortal Masters, what do you say? Who should we believe? Zhang Guanjia is a demon. The demon bird is warning you to be careful. This speculation is not unreasonable. There is no shortage of kind-hearted individuals in the demon race who will warn people of impending disasters. But I know this explanation is hard to accept at the moment. After all, you watched Zhang Guanjia grow up in the village. Many long-lived species of the demon race will stay in one place for decades, letting themselves slowly age. Once they have seen all the sights one day, they will fake their deaths to escape and start anew. Junior Sister Tao Tianai makes some sense, but there is one point that cannot be explained. If Zhang Guanjia is truly a great demon who can shapeshift at will, how could he tolerate a tiny bird demon speaking nonsense? A bird demon that hasn't even been able to shed its original form would be instantly killed before it could even open its mouth. We cannot make an accurate judgment based solely on these current claims. We still need to meet this Zhang Guanjia. Yes, this way please, two immortal masters. The two of us are only at the foundation establishment stage. Even true monarchs of the body integration stage or venerables of the tribulation transcendent stage aren't qualified to be called immortal masters. The township head can call the two of us Taoist priests. Isn't it because no one has become an immortal? All we have are mere rumors and legends of immortals. Old Zhang, someone's here. Open the door. 2 disciples from the Wendao Sect have come to help us get rid of the demon bird. Aren't you getting rid of the demon bird? What are you doing here? I'm really not a demon. You can't just believe whatever the demon bird yells. The demon bird also yelled, come play, mister. Why don't you have a few misters go play with the demon bird? We were just wandering around the township, and happened to be in the area. What do you mean happened to be? Just come in. I've never seen that demon bird before. Ghost knows why it would call my name. I've grown up in Taiping Township my whole life, and the farthest place I've ever been to is K Commandery. I have no idea how I offended it. Ever since it started yelling nonsense, my school is completely ruined, and I can barely get by anymore. Teacher, are you a demon? Teacher, I've finished my homework for today. Please don't eat me. Mr. Zhang, my child is sick. Mr. Zhang, the child was picked up by their maternal family, so they can't come to study. You don't need to refund the money. Leaving everything else aside, at least them finishing their homework on time and not having to funding fees are good things. You sure know how to comfort people. And the main points don't just stop there. A neighbor secretly came to me in the middle of the night, asking me to secretly assassinate his enemy. He said the price was highly negotiable, and he wouldn't believe me even after I explained for half a day. Also, when I went to the blacksmith shop, the day before yesterday, when I went out to buy groceries. 2 Shurchen later. A group of people took advantage of the dark to throw garlic at my house. The evil warding items secretly thrown into my house have already piled up to fill half a room. The demon bird is here again. The demon bird is here again. I am a Wendao Sect cultivator. Where is the demon bird? In my house, the first room after turning right at the second intersection ahead. Senior Brother Lu, Junior Sister Tao T and I will go scout the situation first. Senior Brother Lu, if it's inconvenient to make a sound, I will communicate using Wendao Sect hand signals. Junior Sister Tao T and I, okay, Senior Brother Lu. For the demon race to be able to speak human language, they must refine the transverse bone in their throats. Their cultivation must be at least the late stage of chi condensation. The best case scenario is that the demon bird is only at the 7th level of chi condensation. The worst case scenario is that the demon bird's cultivation is above the late stage of foundation establishment. If that's the case, fighting it will inevitably require some effort. Come play, Mr. Parrot? Stampeding Horus, what the, it's a parrot. How could it be a parrot? What kind of demon bird is this? A parrot, that can't be right. Come play, come play. Demon. Senior Brother Lee, has the demon bird already been subdued by you? Here, the talking demon bird. This, a parrot? When I submit this mission report, the reviewing senior brothers are going to laugh, aren't they? What else? Taking a flying boat for 3 days and 3 nights just to catch a parrot. Everyone, the Taoist priests from the Wendao Sect have captured the demon bird. Thank you, Taoist priests, for eliminating the demon. Truly worthy of being Taoist priests from the Wendao Sect. Many thanks to the 2 Taoist priests. Everyone. This is just an ordinary bird, it's called a parrot, it excels at mimicking human speech. Mimicking human speech. It called out demon probably because it heard Taylor phone calling out demon. As for where is Zhang Guanjia, it probably heard someone say that too. Out of the way. Damn it, this miserable bird has made me suffer, let me butcher it. Suffer, butcher it. Wait. This demon bird is native to the rainforest, half a continent away from here. It definitely didn't fly here on its own. It has been wandering around Taiping Township for 20 days without going anywhere else. Maybe its owner is right here. I wonder if everyone has any thoughts. Are there any families in Taiping Township who would buy and raise a parrot? The people of this township all know about the demon bird. If it had an owner, they would have come out to claim it long ago. If you're asking who might not know, and also has the financial resources to buy and raise a parrot, that would be the Shang family to the east. Shang family. Ah. The Shang family rarely goes out, and is unwilling to converse with others. When I served the Shang family head in his youth, he often suffered setbacks, his cultivation immuted, and from then on, he lost his heart for cultivation and lived in seclusion here. However, their family's financial resources are considerable, being the richest here, so it is also possible that they bought the demon bird. Steward Zhang, long time no see. So it is the township head. I wonder who these 2 behind the township head are. We found this parrot by chance. After asking around, we felt it might belong to the Shang family, so we came to ask. So that's how it is. Many thanks to the 2 young heroes. This should be our young Mrs. Parrot. I will go and report to the master and the young miss right away. Township head, 2 young heroes, please wait a moment. The master invites Township head Huang inside for a chat. 2 young heroes, please come with me. The master asked me to take you 2 to see the young miss. How long has Steward Zhang been with the Shang family? The master saved me on his way to seclusion. Since then, I have served the master for 20 years. Were you present when the parrot went missing? Ah? At that time, my mind wandered for a moment, and I didn't notice the parrot flying away. If I had paid more attention at that time, I definitely wouldn't have let the young miss be so sad. This is my dereliction of duty, to tell the truth to the 2 young heroes. I watched the young miss grow up. She has been depressed all day because the parrot went missing. As a steward, it breaks my heart to see this. Young miss, your escaped parrot has been found. It was 2 young heroes wandering the Jianghu who brought the parrot here. Then let them come in. I'm telling you, reading by sunlight is bad for your eyes, especially the setting sun. Let's light a lamp, your family isn't short of money. My name is Shang Yuan. Thank you for bringing Little Green back. Since Little Green has already returned, you 2 can go back as well. Let's just chat for a bit. The Shang family is quite welcoming to us. Maybe they will even ask us 2 to stay overnight. The Shang family welcoming you doesn't mean I welcome you. Hurry up and leave. It's best if you leave Taiping Township. Seeing guests off from so far away, Taiping Township has no demons or monsters. Why should we leave? You seem to have not left the Shang family for a long time. Don't you want to hear us talk about the outside world? No. You guys. Where are you 2 from? I indeed haven't left home for nearly a month. Could you tell me about your recent experiences? Of course, we are from the Wendao Sect, one of the 5 great immortal sects, and we both have foundation, establishment, cultivation. Wendao Sect? Foundation, establishment? That's right, amazing, isn't it? Haha, we came to Taiping Township this time because we heard there was a demon bird disturbing the people. What you describe is truly fascinating. I also want to cultivate and see this magnificent and bizarre world. But my dad disagrees. He says cultivation is too dangerous. If it weren't for his good luck, he would have died in an ancient tomb long ago. Ancient tomb? Do you know what the Shang family had encountered? I've asked him many times, but he's unwilling to tell me. He only said that he used to be at the 9th level of chi condensation, and after encountering danger, he fell to the 4th or 5th level. Young miss, it's time for dinner. Hosts, 2 young heroes, please join us for the meal. The master instructed me to tidy up a room and invites you two to stay overnight before leaving. Shang family head, the Shang family head is too polite, but as for staying overnight. Alright, we'll go right now. I said earlier that the Shang family welcomed us and would ask us to stay overnight. They have such good intentions, why not appreciate it? Let's go, time to eat. Senior brother. After dinner. Being picky about beds is a bad habit. Being picky about beds is a bad habit. It is common for cultivators to brave the wind and dew. We cannot be picky about beds. Good night. Ha, senior brother Lu really can fall asleep anywhere. I got sleepy early today. It looks like I can get a good night's sleep. Could it be that my habit of being picky about beds is cured? Wait, no. Someone has poisoned us. Oh no, the spiritual energy in my body is moving sluggishly. I can't mobilize it. It's a poison targeting cultivators. Who is it? Did senior brother Lu fall for it too? It's you. What beautiful skin. I have never seen such snow white, such beautiful skin in my life. Do you know the consequences of attacking a Wendao Sect disciple? The Wendao Sect's power blots out the sky and covers the sun. How could a nobody like me dare to provoke them? However, your skin is simply too beautiful. And you voluntarily stayed for dinner. You gave me the opportunity. If I don't grasp it, I will regret it for the rest of my life. Sure enough, there was poison in the dinner. Don't be tense. Even if you weren't poisoned, you still wouldn't be my match. You just stepped into foundation establishment, while I am in the late stage of foundation establishment. Relax, it will just hurt for a moment. Soon you won't be afraid anymore. If you keep your skin and flesh tight, peeling it off will be very troublesome, and you will suffer more. You, how could you be poisoned? The Wendao Sect's required introductory course. 2 common poisons and their antidotes. Do you want to take a look? How did you find me? Do you know what the parrot said in the township? Who are you, and where is Zhang Guanjia? So. But why did it call out for Zhang Guanjia, and where did it learn this phrase? Do you think it's possible that the Zhang Guanjia it was calling for is actually Steward Zhang? Who are you? Where is Steward Zhang? 20 days ago, the Shang family's young miss discovered that Steward Zhang's identity had been replaced. Only then does everything make sense. The villagers were more familiar with Zhang Guanjia, and the parrot's pronunciation wasn't quite standard, so that's why there was a misunderstanding. I should have killed that stupid bird back then. But, so what if you figured out the truth? As someone at the late stage of foundation establishment, do you really think you can stop me? Wait, didn't you ever think that you're not the only one in the world who knows how to use poison? Ha ha ha, I thought you had some kind of ultimate move. Poison? What uses that against me? Your poison has always targeted the physical body. More accurately, the internal organs, muscles, and meridians. But I am nothing more than an empty skin. Who would be bored enough to invent a poison that targets the skin? You are a painted skin ghost. I would. What? I said sorry, but I would. Can't you feel it yet? It's so itchy. What poison is this? Athlete's foot. Athlete's foot? Poison? What else did you think I was doing talking to you all this time? I was waiting for your symptoms to act up. I anticipated you would come looking for Tao Ti and I, so I prepared a poison in this room beforehand that rapidly triggers athlete's foot. What? Senior Brother Lee, hurry and give me the antidote. Ah, wait, the painted skin ghost hasn't been dealt with yet. Right now my feet are both painful and itchy. Running away immediately is impossible. Both of them are at the initial stage of foundation establishment. I'll kill them first and find the antidote. Die. It's an illusion. Good opportunity. Nice illusion, junior sister Tao Ti and I. The painted skin ghost's moves are bizarre. Although it doesn't excel in defense, its cultivation level is much higher than ours. What do we do, senior brother? We can't beat it. Keep harassing it. It must be very anxious right now. We'll show a flaw and trick it into making a move. This illusion art not only made it overextend its strike, but also made it space out for a moment, creating an opportunity for me. Senior brother Lu, beautifully done. Junior sister, the timing was perfect. Junior sister, senior brother Lu's sword strike was far more brilliant and stunning. How could you recognize my true body? Even if you noticed something was wrong, you couldn't have known I was a painted skin. Humph, I knew you weren't dead yet. Spirit wine, exorcise evil. Ha ha ha, now I don't have to worry about you not dying completely. It shouldn't be able to survey this, right? It definitely won't survive, senior brother. Leave something so we can turn in the mission. Right. Let me find a broom and gather up its skin ashes first. Senior brother Lee, how did you figure out he was a painted skin ghost? It's simple. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.